Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hollow Knight Marauders podcast. I'm AJ, joined here by my Bombad 4 years and going Jedi pals.
That's good.
Bombad Jedi pals. Sorry.
That's good. That's
Did
really
I say
good.
Bombad
Yeah,
twice?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't know. It's been a time. So
It's been a time. It's been about a week. It's been about a week.
we're back. And it's also weird doing that opening because hello. Ooh, that looks crisper than normal.
We're the nerds.
What? Who?
That looked more
What
like
looks crisper?
square. The graphic there looks a little more square.
I think we
don't know.
changed the formatting by mistake before we started.
Maybe
but
we did. But anyways, we're back.
bad.
I don't know what our last thing we did was. I think it was with Bobby.
it was the Bobby Moynihan.
Bobby stream, which was amazing. That was really
Close
Yeah.
the pumpkin paint off.
Oh right,
Oh,
which
right.
Matt won.
Oh yeah. As soon as I win one, y'all forget we did it.
Matt, do you have the winning piece near
No,
you?
it's actually downstairs on display.
Ah,
proudly.
as it should be. As it should be.
Unfortunately.
This is where I would
All
keep my winning pumpkin if I had one.
One day, dude. One day. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
What are
I
you,
can do it
Rocky?
against Anyone? Yeah.
It's okay. Take your time.
Not that Rocky.
Oh wait.
But that Rocky too. I'm literally Rocky in both
Rocky
senses.
Balboa. Anyways, so we're back. It's been quite a time since we had like a conversation stream that wasn't an interview or
Mhm,
painting pumpkins or whatever.
mhm.
And it's been
Yeah.
a pretty long time since it was just the three of us talking about something, I think.
Also true.
But we're here to celebrate our 4-year anniversary of doing the podcast,
Look at
which
that.
then evolved into a YouTube channel. So the history was 2019-ish. It started as a blog.
Yes, it
Yeah,
did.
I sometimes I even forget that.
It started as a blog, and then it quickly went into a podcast as we all sat around in 2020 not knowing what to do other than stare at a wall and talk about Star Wars. So we stared at a wall with microphones and talked about Star Wars.
I am literally staring at a wall right now.
I guess I am too, technically. I'm a couple of walls.
Yeah.
And then
Me
it
too, yeah.
turned into a YouTube channel with the podcast and other videos, video essays. I would say Matt was a big push for that, and obviously Jamie, as well, as someone complimented, or Millie complimented your jacket actually,
She knows.
not just somebody.
She knows.
You're wearing the Omega.
Yes, the Omega Epilogue jacket, which I think that I mentioned in the Bad Batch finale episode that I was gonna make, and I did. I made it. I made the jacket, and I gotta say, not to derail us immediately. They did not
Derail us.
release the images for it until 2 weeks ago. They released the actual images of the full 360 photos, and I'm like, you know what? I got my new samples. Guess who's
So-
remaking this jacket?
But how accurate did you get? Did you get
Pretty damn close.
accurately? Yeah.
Pretty damn
so-
close, actually. Yeah. The
Wow.
only thing that I got like off, was this seam is a little bit off in the back is pretty good, but the color is the problem.
Oh.
Which checks out because the seam was really dark.
Right.
So it next time you see it, it'll be this.
For you audio listeners who are actually in a drought right now because
Oh my god.
a couple of the past few things we've done on YouTube haven't gone there because they're very visual. The Bobby Moynihan interview was very visual. I could put it on there, but I don't know. You won't know what
But
we're
half
talking
the time
highly
he'd be
re-
like, look at this, and you'd be
Yeah, I
like,
highly recommend going to check that out because he showed off his entire Star Wars collection, and
Yeah.
it was very expansive.
It was very impressive. Very impressive.
So where were we? Oh, another quick note I wanted to note. With our 4-year anniversary, I guess it kind of coincided. I could say it was on purpose. So it was on purpose.
Say it was on purpose. Okay.
We have new merchandise through Fourth Wall, which is back to looking at walls. Fourth Wall is a merch brand. Our friend Hannah uses it from the Ray side. They have some cool merch over there. And Jamie's wearing one of the hats right now, the dad hat. I think I called it Pirate Flag Dad Hat. This was
Good.
just Pirate Flag Hat, which the brim's a little too flat for what I want now. I got to get my little ball cap bend in over time. I'm wearing one of the hoodies, which is embroidered, which is really cool. But below this YouTube video or whatever, you can see our little merch shop through YouTube, and it's cool. If anyone wants to,
there
rep
should
the
be a tab
Marauders.
on YouTube. If you go to our channel, there's a tab for merch, and it'll bring you directly where you want to go. If you feel so inclined, that'd be really cool. You can do whatever you want. I don't mind.
Yeah, of course. I know Chad bought some stuff. I don't know where Chad is right now. Maybe he's watching Lord of the Rings or something. That's what all he watches is that and the Batman, which
I'm pretty sure.
that's all you need to do, in my opinion.
Same.
So yeah, Matt, we got to get you some merch. So
Yeah, I was about to say I would like a hoodie.
Matt, what do you want?
We could hook
haven't
you
gotten
up.
a new hoodie for a while.
These are nice too. These are comfortable. They're like snug.
It actually looks really nice.
Yeah. So thank you, Fourth Wall. I know I'm saying thank you. I found you guys, but you guys do a pretty good job apparently. This stuff's all cool and embroidered. Yeah. Moving on for your anniversary merch. Anything else we want to do before we get to the Q&A?
I gotta say, you derailed me off of the audio listeners are in a drought, and I was talking about
did.
the jacket. So I just gotta say again, I'm wearing the Omega Epilogue jacket, and the only difference is the color is going to be different. That's all you need to know.
Right.
If you want the visual, just I flood my social media about it. So yeah,
That is true.
that's it.
Where can they
I
find
thought
you?
it. Where could they find me? I'm Jam the Jedi. That's the only place I'm ever gonna be, and then everything else for Hollow Marauders is just Hollow Marauders.
Right.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
So we can start with the
that's
Q&A.
it.
I mean, as we go here, we have a pinned comment somewhere over there in the
think it's
technology of
pinned.
YouTube.
I hope it's pinned.
Send us questions
Feel free
throughout.
to ask us questions. Yeah.
If Brent was here, he'd be giving us paragraphs of good stuff of questions, I feel.
But yeah, the way this works live is we compiled a bunch of questions that we already got through social media the past few days. But if anyone live also wants to just throw it in there, if it's within reason, maybe we'll answer it. I don't know.
And even
Probably
if it's without reason, maybe I'll answer it.
Man, I like to set boundaries.
Shall we begin?
Sure.
I don't know what
All-
within reason is. I don't.
Oh,
all
I
of
got-
these-
Anyway.
All of these came from social media. You guys sent these in, and we have some good ones. It might be the most we have ever had. So off the bat, we kind of
That's
organized these in a thing.
Best-
the
That's
best
impossible to answer.
best Hollow Knight Marauders moment so far.
Best moment.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's tough.
Um,
That's a tough one.
That's really tough. I there's a lot of like I'd like to do like specific like meeting other podcasters. We've met a lot of people that we had like a lot of like goals to meet along the way, which I think has been one of like the coolest experiences because like you meet a lot of people through doing podcasting that are people that you look up to along the way, and so like we've like achieved a lot of those goals in the past 4 years, and I'm just like, oh my god, who else can we talk to? I want to talk to everyone, honestly, which would
Yeah.
be really cool. But like we've gotten to chat with Alex and Molly of Star Wars Explained. We talked
That
to the
was
Sky
exciting.
Talkers. We've
Yeah.
talked to Cal Katarn, Hannah from the Race Ed, all new nerds, Lady Lorians, Ruxin around. Like
Yeah.
honestly, the list goes on, and I look up to like all of them like so much, and now I consider like all of them friends, and I'm like, this is so
Which is
beautiful,
wild,
guys.
right?
That's
Yeah,
absolutely
cool.
insane.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know if I have one.
I
No,
know
mean,
that
that-
wasn't specific.
That is like the
Do you want a specific one? I can probably haul one out after.
that is
I'll
like
think
the
about it.
best thing I would say, but moment.
Yeah,
I don't know.
moment
The
is
first one that
tough.
comes to mind is just on Super Bowl Sunday, maybe 2 years ago, or I don't know when it was, but we interviewed the developers of the Phantom Menace game.
Honestly,
It's
that
just-
actually might be one of my favorite moments.
Another
too.
one.
I forgot
this is-
about that.
This is a moment that wasn't on screen, but it was more of a thing we did. We were all hanging out together. We played the mess of a game, but awesome game, Rebel Assault 2.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, the live action scenes in this are cool. Like, let's find this guy. I was like, oh, Jameson Jones. We were watching the credits of the game after we beat it. Jameson Jones, looked him up, found him on Instagram, messaged him. Hey, do you want to come on and
Realized
talk to
that
us?
he had like a prolific acting career. Like he's an actual
Yeah.
like
He's an
pretty-
acting coach at
pretty
this point.
Yeah, he and we were like, holy crap. And then we messaged him like on a whim. Just
And
like,
like 30 minutes
randomly.
later, he responded.
He was like, yeah, sure. I'm like, what?
Those have been some of my favorite moments.
And
of just-
honestly, yeah, that's a great pick because
yeah,
that's been my favorite too. There's nothing like the rush you get when you just kind of roll the dice, just throw it out there, be like, hey, do you want to come on the show? And then usually they're like, yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, sure.
yeah, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I've done most of like the outreach of getting
Yeah,
guests on. Obviously, there's been like the three of us thinking of who we could have on. I know Matt, you got
I got the lead writer of Survivor,
which was
Mhm,
like that was
Danny
awesome
Holman.
too. Danny
Yep.
Danny Holman, yeah.
Danny
Yep.
Holman.
Which
was
that was a great moment too. Of
Well,
course.
yeah. We all do the
Um,
legwork, but AJ does like a lot
yeah,
of the
AJ,
legwork.
AJ's
like
the guest
if-
guy.
if
I
you're
don't
talking
know-
to someone on the Holonet accounts, it's a 99%. It's probably AJ. Just
But I don't want people to know
FYI.
that though. I like the guys.
Forget I said it. Forget I said
Yeah, no. Sometimes it's Matt, right?
Yeah, most of the time it's actually me. They're lying just to cover up their tracks.
I
Yeah,
think another Holonet Marauders moment that lives rent free in my head, which isn't what the question is, but it is one for me, is when we were doing reaction videos. AJ, this is you and me watching Book of Boba Fett. And then
Good
it's
times.
it's the scene in which the Pikes arrive with their spice, and the camera pans out, and it's Cobb Vanth's ass. And I started yelling the second I saw it, and you were like, "Hold up!" And then you were also like, "Whoa!" Cobb Vanth just like returning. That moment lives rent free in my head, and I think that's pretty classic Holonet Marauders as well, because our first episode was kind of like about that, the Mandalorian season 2 premiere, and then we
Yeah.
had that like that documented in the reaction videos, which we don't do anymore on rare occasions, but that was a pretty good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I also like when we do our panels. Usually, we meet a new fan that we'll then see in the chat like the
Person,
next
yeah.
stream we do. Like Jordan
Where's
Hey.
Jordan?
might not be here tonight, but he's
Hey, guys.
usually here. Now he'll pop in from time to time, and I'll be like, "Hey, Jordan." But that was like from the last panel we did, where it's just somebody will ask a question, we'll answer it, and then after the show, we'll walk out into the hallway and usually get into a conversation with that person about whatever, and slowly build our fan bases.
I
as
do
people
love
come
that.
back.
I mean,
I do love that. That's
seeing people in person is like it's different. Obviously, we have people in the chat here, and we get lots of people that tune in and everything. But like seeing people in the flesh is like, it's an extra
In the
step.
flesh.
Yeah,
because as much as I act nervous, and I am nervous before we do like live performances or live shows or whatever.
live performance.
Live performance.
We're doing a musical next back.
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
No.
But the live panels are really fun. Like I really enjoy them.
Oh, they're a rush. Yeah,
for sure. And there's just something.
There's a question on here about the panels. Eventually, I think.
Oh.
We'll get to that.
Okay, so that's the best Holonet moment. I don't even know if we gave a good answer for those. Like I'm
I
sure
think
there's
those are it was like a vague one and then a couple of random personal ones. I think that was great.
Okay, going back to your Phantom Menace developers interview thing, my favorite moment might be when we were talking about like a specific, like not problem with the game, but like it was like hard or like this, that, and the guy goes, "Oh yeah, we're gonna see him at the Super Bowl party later. We'll tell him you're mad at him." And
the
we were like,
platforming guy.
yeah,
This
it's
is like
oh.
25 years later, like talking about this video
We're gonna
game
see
at a
that
Super
guy.
Bowl party. What?
And they're still meeting and they're still hanging out at like the Super Bowl party. Like that's awesome. That
Do you
was
think they
so
play the
cool.
game at the party?
Oh yeah, definitely.
They make it
The
like a
Super Bowl
drinking
gets
game or
boring,
something.
and then they just like turn on the Phantom Menace like we do,
Yeah.
All right. Next question is worst Holonet Marauders moment.
Oh god, what the hell is
I
the
have one,
worst
but I'm not going to
moment?
speak about it.
Wow.
Let's
Let's-
move forward.
Okay. I don't even know what that could be, but I mean, this isn't even a Holonet Marauders moment, but it's when Matt ordered the lemonade at.
Okay, that's
at
not.
Wendy's.
That's a great moment. That's a
That is-
legendary moment. That
That is a Marauders moment, though, because that's on the fabled lost episode Return Home.
That's true. That's true.
So it is.
That's the fabled lost episode. And if anybody knows the story, have we ever told the story
I
here?
think we
We
vaguely told
definitely
the
have.
story before, but the
Okay, well,
lemonade.
What
quick recap on Matt's social anxiety. So I
15
ordered.
seconds.
We went to Wendy's. I ordered a meal and then I ordered a lemonade, but I forgot to tell them that I wanted the lemonade instead of the drink. So the lady handed me the cup and I filled the cup with lemonade from the tap. And I'm sitting there sipping my lemonade and the woman made a lemonade and brings it out and she goes, "Lemonade." And of course I had already poured a lemonade. So I panicked and just pretended I didn't order the lemonade. We took our meal and we left. And it's probably like the most, that's
still
probably
sitting there.
It's
mo-
still
yeah.
sitting there. Like
the
5
moment when
years
my
later.
social anxiety crippled me the most. I think that's probably the goofiest I've ever been in a social situation.
It was pretty bad.
That was
Yeah, it was
something.
pretty bad. That was
Literally,
stupid.
AJ and I were like, "Didn't you order lemonade?" And Matt was literally like,
Yeah, you're doing like
he
the
was
head
like,
shake.
he was like nonverbal, shaking his head no, and we're like, "All right,
Okay.
all right."
I don't know if there really is a bad Holonet Marauders moment.
We really haven't had any bad moments where I've like have stood out and made me feel uncomfortable, or like at least nothing that I want to recount.
We've had projects that didn't like make the cut or ended up getting like canceled, I guess. But like
yeah.
it
Like
wasn't
book
like
club.
bad. Yeah, we did
Classic
book club for a
club.
bit.
Love
Hard
book
to keep
club.
up with, and it just
Hard to keep up with, and it didn't really catch on.
didn't catch on.
Did they catch on
ahead
with
of its
us?
time. But your kids are gonna love it.
Will they though?
Yeah, show your kids our book club videos and only our book club videos.
Don't.
They'll love them.
I don't know. Is there anything else? Like anything else on here?
I
We
don't
have
like
25 questions to get to.
I don't like thinking in a negative. Long story short, but
That's
a good
I don't know.
one.
I've had like a lot of like better experience. I've had one really bad one, but I don't like to talk about it. But
Okay,
long
we'll talk
story
about
short,
it off the air.
yeah. Yeah.
Watching this Jedi Survivor trailer while eating Cheerios in the hotel room at Star Wars Celebration because you got sick.
That was a good moment.
That was a
That's
good
good
moment. It turned into a good moment, but
See-
it was a bad moment when you were sick and we were like, shit.
when
Yeah.
AJ was firing on all cylinders like Thursday or Friday morning of celebration, and then by like midday he was just like,
But
which
Plug
was
Plug's
that
was-
leaving
day.
the hotel room at
Matt was
6
sick.
a.m. and we're like, what the hell? And then I got sick after.
You
Yeah,
were
that's
like,
probably the
I'm
worst
the
Hall in It
captain now.
moment when I gave AJ and Zach COVID
Yeah.
at Star Wars Celebration. That's
That
the
probably
worst
is it.
Hall in It moment.
There you go.
And possibly 2 other friends of ours.
Yeah,
right.
probably. Sorry, guys.
What's your favorite hobby?
Oh God,
That's a funny question.
what's a hobby? Just anything I do? Like, what's the most favorite thing I do?
Yeah, or currently at least. I know you revolve around different things.
Yeah, my hyperfixation has me bouncing all over the place. Could be arts and crafts. It could be reading comics. Currently
you an
into
arts and
Batman
crafts guy?
comics. I made a whole
You made that
Shinto
pumpkin?
Buddhist temple complex.
You
That's
finished
going
that?
to be finished very soon. I'm literally putting the finishing touches on it now. It's only been 9 months.
Right now?
Have that up and running. Well, yeah, right
He's
now, off screen.
On your desk.
If you see me reaching off screen, it's
like-
because I'm fixing
Is it made of like toothpicks? What-
Yeah, I'll take a picture of it and send it to you. It came out really well. I'm very proud of it. That was a
Okay.
huge undertaking, though.
Next, we have to make Luke's temple.
Yeah, dude, I'm totally down. At any point in time, we can go out and collect pebbles.
Yeah.
I'm totally down. I found like little parlor palms that look like bamboo, so we could like totally just like plant a bunch of like parlor palms around
We
it and stuff. I've got ideas.
Speaking of ideas, as you're saying it, I was like, oh, we can make it out of gingerbread. And then I was like, wait, what if instead of the pumpkin paint off, we've been trying to come up with a holiday one for years. What if we have a gingerbread building
off.
competition?
Where are we sourcing this gingerbread? I gotta say, because it's easy to bake, but it's
It
also
might have to be all of
easy
us
to,
in
like,
person.
be a disaster.
That would have to be, I think, an in-person thing.
Okay.
We'll make like a Death Star out of gingerbread.
A gingerbread Death Star,
Yeah.
Okay.
A
Probably been
ginger
done before.
star.
but still, could work.
Anyways, what's the question? What's your favorite hobby? I think I'm really into gingerbread building.
Yeah,
I do it every day, like for 2 hours.
He jokes, but the moment that gingerbread actually dropped as a flavor again this holiday season, AJ was like, he's there.
for coffee. Yeah.
Yeah,
At Starbucks. Dunkin'
He's
didn't
there.
bring it back.
No.
Cowards.
oh, sad.
Gingerbread is a great flavor. Anyways, Lego. I mean,
I was gonna
Really?
say if you didn't answer Lego, I'd be shocked.
Really?
it'd be Lego. Yeah. I mean, I think we know what Jamie
Cosplay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I actually
Matt-
went out of my way to put the Narkina 5 on the mannequin tonight. I don't know why, but I actually wore it a
There you
couple
go.
weeks ago. So I was
It's
like, you
the
know what? I'll
anniversary
put
of
it
that
there.
episode also.
Yeah. The Andor announcement too. I was like, I gotta put
That's
it on the
perfect. Yeah.
thing. And
April.
There it is.
Yeah, April 22nd. I can't wait.
The most underrated project to the most overrated project for us, but we're actually super hyped for it.
Yeah. That was a wild roller coaster with Andor. Yeah, so we covered hobbies, right? Matt, did you give an answer? You kind of said like
Yeah, I've said like
making
a
little
bunch of things. I guess like collecting. I know that's like a lame hobby, like a really lame, like consumerist hobby, but whatever. I got the bug. I can't help it.
you're a huge.
I'm a
consumer.
humongous collector, huge consumer.
You can
Probably not a good
like
thing.
there's no.
I
no other.
consume so much. I'm currently, or not currently, but about to do like a big project where I'm going to empty out my walk-in closet and just put a ton of bookshelves in there and just put all the figures I collect in there. It's going to be a
Fun.
lot.
It's gonna look like
It's gonna be
Helga's closet with
With
like,
Arnold.
Arnold in there, but it's just
my
like,
big my big Godzilla figure made of used gum.
or it's gonna be the
like
other
the
pumpkin. you
spaghetti
made.
has like his like spine.
Yes.
the noti pumpkin you have.
Oh yeah, it's down here. I got to put them somewhere.
All right,
Oh my
next
God.
question. Here we go. Is Favorite. There it is.
Oh,
The panel
favorite
question.
panel we did.
Favorite panel we've done at a convention.
I love the ones at PAX East.
Hmm.
On
Same. They're
so many levels.
A little bit more big league, yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think that for some reason I feel like it was the second one. The second one at PAX.
I was also going to pick the second one at PAX.
Yeah, I don't remember why, but I feel like the second
I
one.
remember why.
Okay, then you explain why.
It was the VR dating game. The place was rolling, and the place was packed.
The place was packed because
really
we
big
got
run.
like a prime spot Saturday night,
Yeah.
like right near the exit at closing time. So like everybody was just
We
funneling
felt like
in.
the Beatles.
It literally
You
we
got
were.
in.
And I
Um,
got all my friends to go too. Like I had a
Yeah.
big group
Gosh,
of friends who
yes.
went
They
to
were
PAX that
fun.
day, and they were there too, and they were giving us suggestions. So that was great, and making
Yeah.
votes and stuff.
But
And
yeah, at PAX East, we do the build a video game one, which is we each come up with like our own options of what we think it's going to be, and Jack joins us, which is always fun to have Jack on for the panels,
Mhm.
and we build a said video game, and it's a lot of fun, and I just love PAX East. PAX East is my favorite like convention local to us as it
yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, fantastic.
And because I just love video games, there's always just so much to do there. And the staff for PAX is so good. I talk about it to like the ends of the earth, but like they take such an actual like care of their staff. They're helpful.
And the community overall
yeah.
at PAX is awesome.
Yeah.
I always hear people say like, "Oh, it's not as good as it used to be. It's like way more like corporate now," which it probably
Nothing is
but-
like it used to be pre
Literally.
2020. Can I
Yeah.
just say that? Like, you got to make do with what you have, unfortunately, right now.
Well, these people are
So-
talking like way back to like 2010. So, but yeah, what are you
And
gonna
and
do?
at that point, who's into fandom right now was into fandom that hard at that point in time. I guarantee you, like most of the people who are super active in fandom right now were like barely like alive in 2010.
I don't know.
No, I'm,
Oh,
I'm kidding.
God.
Not
I don't know
that
if
much.
I'm
Not
that
that
far,
much.
but-
Not that far. But I mean, like we were in like high school, and like I sure as hell was not like participating yet in like fandom to like the extent that I am like today. So like,
Hey, never forget
Yeah.
one of our first interactions was at PAX.
yes,
guys-
it was.
We had we got tickets for a class. I forget what class it was, some media class, and we actually got tickets to PAX, but we had to share them because there were only two. And then you guys got the time slot before us, so me and my friend Dave had to take the train into Boston and meet you guys at PAX 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys
Hmm.
handed us off the tickets, and that was kind of like our first interaction, like one of them.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it was.
Yeah, that was. So PAX has a long history with us.
Very long history.
So that was the second panel at PAX was your favorite panel
Yes.
we did.
I'm gonna
Okay.
also say that.
I'm gonna that was a very good one. I'm gonna go our first panel we ever did, which was Fan Expo Boston 2022. No,
21.
2021. Yeah,
It was 21.
had to
It
be
was the
21.
Okay.
first year back. Yeah.
Yep. And it was like I think it was Labor Day weekend or something. It was a nice nice time of year that I enjoy. Shelby came and was the producer for us, which she's done at a few conventions, but that one was a blast. Just because it was our first one, and I remember staying up till like with Matt till like 3 a.m. playing Shadows of the Empire. We were on the ceiling.
That was the Shadows of the Empire panel. Wow. 2
Yeah,
years
and then like 3 hours later, we're doing a panel.
3 hours later, we're doing a panel.
That was
Yeah,
a blast,
got no
though.
sleep that night. Got no sleep. Couldn't see the game. We've covered that to death. We've talked about that to death. Still funny. Still funny to this day that we played almost the entirety of Shadows of the Empire on
We
a
should play it
TV
again.
We couldn't see shit. I agree. We should definitely play it again on a TV where we
This time
probably
you're
can
playing.
see. Fine. I'm fine with that.
I like that. Okay, there's our panels.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
can't wait for the next one we do.
Would love to do
Yep.
it again
Whatever that is.
sometime.
Your favorite piece of Star Wars clothing? I'm gonna say my HoloNet exclusive HoloNet Marauders hat that you can get in our shop below. I'm just kidding.
Hey.
I know what Matt's answer should be for this.
Oh God. Do I know what it's supposed
There's
to be?
only one answer.
Your Yoda shirt.
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah, duh. That's what I was gonna say
Although-
that, but
I do really like your Japanese Empire Strikes Back, or I think it's
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, the
That's what it
posters.
is.
Uh, no, it's Return of the Jedi, isn't it? Return of the
Didn't
my
you get it at
Japanese Return of the Jedi
Celebration
Empire.
Chicago?
Yep. Celebration
that.
Chicago. That's a great shirt. I
That's
think that's
really
the
good.
one I'm wearing in the intro, in front of the train. I think.
That was a Lighthouse Day, yeah.
Yeah, Lighthouse Day, classic, classic.
Another classic Marauder moment.
Yeah, it has to be my tie-dye episode 1 Puppet Yoda vintage shirt for sure, without question. I wear that everywhere.
It's an amazing shirt.
This is a really tough question for me because I have acquired a lot of stuff that is clothing over the
what the
years,
heck is mine?
and I'm trying to limit it to something that I haven't made because that's costume stuff, right? So I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out like something else. I don't know. I recently have been wearing a lot of my crew neck sweatshirts from Jedi Kalen. I really love the one that I have that's green and it has Kanan's Jageyes on it. I like that one a lot. I think that might be my favorite piece right now.
At the moment, at least.
At
Yeah,
the
that's a
moment.
good one.
Good choice.
At the moment.
I don't know what mine is. I mean, this is up there. This Jar Jar hat from this past May.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's
Your
funny.
jacket, one of your jackets, you have like a bunch of cool Star Wars jackets, don't you? You have the holonet
Oh,
jacket. Does that count?
Honorable mention.
That's homemade. It has to be
That's
something.
homemade. Yeah.
I mean, that is cool.
Honorable mention for me. I love my Heroes and Villains Bad Batch bomber jacket.
Mm.
I
You have a cool Lucasfilm
love
jacket
that
too.
jacket so much. Yeah, I have a Lucasfilm Her Universe jacket as well. The bomber jacket era was really funny, but I love the Bad Batch one. I wanted that jacket the moment it dropped, and it was expensive, and I knew I had to try it on. And luckily, at Star Wars Celebration 22, they had the booth, and I bought it there. And I was like, "Whoo!" Highly recommend though if you're on the fence because it's a really good jacket.
I really like that Ghost shirt you got me. It's like the Ghost Crew, and it's green. I don't know who made that, but that one's awesome. Currently one of my
the
favorites.
the green shirt you wear all the time. I think that was a fan of shop. I think that's where
Okay.
that shirt was from. There's
And
another Ghost shirt.
Also, anything Only Hope has made. Only Hope has made a ton of like my yellow
Yeah.
N1 shirt. I really like.
I was gonna say there's another Ghost shirt we have that I wear a lot, which is from Galactic Surplus. Look, I love supporting the small shops. Honestly, like I love the big brands, but there's so many of like the small shops that I'm just like this hits. It actually because like they have the characters that I want. Because it's hard to find the favorite sometimes.
Shout out to
So.
our friend Ryan's shop, Lazy
Mhm.
Day Galaxy, and
Oh,
Matt has like the Coke one and the
I have the Coke
Moxie
one and I
one.
have the Moxie one. Those
Yeah.
are fantastic. I wear those all the time.
Yeah, the Dead Speak one too.
People think I'm weird.
yes,
I have to get that one. I don't have that one.
that is a good one. All right, next question is Wensleydale or Cheddar?
Cheddar.
Cheddar, because I you gotta go with what you know. I've never had Wensleydale.
Same.
I can't admit if I've had Wensleydale. I don't know.
You can't admit. What does
maybe
that
I
mean?
I don't know if
You
I
don't
have.
know.
Maybe I have.
We've been watching a lot of Wallace and
But
Gromit recently.
it wasn't
haven't we?
memorable.
A little bit of Wensleydale. Hey, Gromit. Looking forward to the new Wallace and Gromit movie, which is
Hell
out
yeah.
next month.
Yes, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
I
And did
think
you
it's next
see-
month.
What are they named? Aardman
Yeah.
Studios. They did an Over the Garden Wall 10-year anniversary
I
stop
saw
motion
it.
special thing. I
Mm.
have to watch that. I'm so excited because Over
I'll
the
have to
Garden
check
Wall is
that
one of
out.
my favorite things.
That's awesome.
So I definitely have to check that out.
What is your favorite kind of cheese? While we're on cheese,
Oh God, you're gonna hate me.
you're gonna say American.
Yeah, I'm gonna say American.
You garbage
boring.
American.
Oh, I'm
Jeez.
absolute garbage, dude. Absolute garbage. I have the worst
not-
palate imaginable. Everybody knows that.
You have the most American, boring
Yeah,
Hank Hill palate.
literally
like
the Hank Hill
cheeseburgers,
palate,
so you'd
except
be-
for burgers.
Hank
Hank
Hill.
Hill.
Like,
I was
he'd be
gonna say, but
offended.
like chicken tenders versus like not getting a steak.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, I mean cheddar cheese. I mean cheddar. American cheese is fine. It's so bland compared to some other cheeses. Like cheddar is my favorite probably, or like mozzarella.
Mozzarella, big
You
mozzarella.
can
Mozzarella
do a
is
lot
good.
with mozzarella.
Ricotta,
like-
put ricotta in anything, and I'm eating it.
Ugh,
That's
no,
my.
I'm not against
one
it.
of
I'm
my
not a
favorite.
ricotta fan.
Really?
Ricotta's what's in lasagna, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
ricotta.
Stuffed shells. Some great calzones have ricotta in them.
Yeah, ricotta's
stuff.
good. I always remember the All New Nerds. Shout out to the All New Nerds. They would always have someone in their comments saying "cheese stream?" question mark. And I think it meant like a
What?
stream. I don't know if it meant a stream where they talk about cheese or a stream that they're talking about whatever and they're eating cheese. So to this
Oh.
day, I don't know who that was in their chat. I want to know. I'll have to text Levi after this. And Levi, if you're watching, let me know.
Kinky.
We need to do a cheese. What'd you say?
No, you heard what I said. I'm not saying it again.
I don't know if it is, but Um,
Anyway,
we should do a cheese stream.
We should do a cheese stream where we
No.
eat and talk about cheese.
I will
Yeah,
not
I would do that.
participate in that.
And I'm
we all
literally
dress
just
up
gonna be
as-
Homer eating.
we all dress up
42
as,
slices of American cheese.
Wallace.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're on the topic of food, favorite food for each of you? Tacos.
PB&J.
Tacos anywhere, and not beef tacos. I don't like beef
Did you
tacos.
just say PB&J, Matt?
PB&J, I eat one every day, pretty much.
I
I
do-
never get
I-
sick of it.
I
It is
do
absolutely
too.
wild. I've never gotten sick of it.
I have a PB every day. I don't like jelly as much. I just like peanut butter. I know that's wild, but I'll eat jelly. But yeah, I mean peanut butter sandwich is good.
Yeah,
even though it's the tacos.
It's like the most reliable food imaginable for me. I think I've never gotten sick of it in my 29 years on this planet, and I've been eating
and it's
it
not like
for almost 29
unhealthy?
years. It's not terrible.
and
I mean, the
if you're
jelly
having
probably
white
has
bread,
a lot of
It's-
sugar, and white bread is probably really the worst part of
Processed.
the sandwich. Yeah,
but peanut butter, the peanut butter is good. Good for
peanut
you.
butter's
The
good. Some
anatomy of a peanut butter
protein.
and jelly sandwich.
Good energy. But tacos. And
Tacos
not
is
beef
good.
tacos. I like chicken tacos or like a steak taco. I'll have beef tacos or something, but I love tacos. Love them.
So like beef tacos are like ground beef, and then a steak taco is just like
Like shaved.
okay.
Yeah.
shaved.
I prefer like a chicken taco. Like
I like
especially
chicken
if,
tacos.
yeah.
Those are good.
Soft taco or hard shell. Or both.
Depends.
I like a hard shell. I mean, I like both, but I do like the crunch of a hard shell. It feels more novel when you're eating
Yeah.
like a
Messier.
hard shell taco than
But
a-
yeah, I agree. So
But
we
it is
just had a
fun when
place
you're like
we had takeout from a place the other day that had places that do homemade tortillas. Unbelievable. If you have like the tortilla at home, that's just like a flour tortilla. It's kind of bland, but Jamie, what's your favorite food?
Honestly, pizza. Or if I don't that often. We usually don't get Indian food that much anymore. But I am a sucker for a good samosa. Like
Yeah.
just like I could samosas. I
Matt, we'll have to
absolutely
get you a
adore them.
samosa.
So
okay.
It's basically like, and someone out there is probably going to be annoyed by the way I'm describing it. Probably my friend Rohan, but it's kind of like a egg roll, but in a different shape with potato and like a lot of spices in it. I mean, you might not like spices, but
I personally think
what?
it's so much better than an egg roll because I don't like all of the stuff going on in an egg
Yeah,
roll.
you're probably
But, like
right.
a samosa, it's just like literally like potato and spices, and it's just like, oh my god, this is great. Like egg roll is just like,
I could
what's
probably
going
eat
on in
that.
here?
this is funny because not to like out Matt, but a lot of times he comes over, he has some sort of upset stomach. And even
And
with
it's
eating
literally the
like,
most random thing, dude.
pizza
It's
or
the most
grilled
random
cheese,
thing.
if we give this guy samosa, he's gonna have some issues.
Yeah. But you should do
alright.
it anyway. It'll be fun.
That's why he eats peanut butter and white bread.
That's true.
Oh, jeez.
All right, food in Star Wars
Ooh.
you most want to try. So in
Uh,
Star Wars Outlaws, there's a lot of cool
Oh, I was-
food.
I was
There's
just
also a
about
lot
to
of
bring
stuff
up the
that I
one you
wouldn't
could get.
want to eat.
The one on Kajimi,
There's,
where
like,
it had like
flies in
the
it.
ice in the middle, was cool. But yeah, it had like gross stuff in it.
The one
I
on
remember-
Akiva had flies in it. It was like fruit with flies inside of it.
Yeah, that was a bit much.
The
There was
Kajimi
that
one
had,
looked
like
good.
corn.
The Kajimi one, yeah, that one had, like I said, had like the bowl of ice, like the block of ice in the middle that you like.
And it
I
was
forget
spicy.
what you do with it. Yeah, and then it was like
Ooh, the blue noodles.
that was
yeah.
good. The blue noodles.
The
Ah,
blue,
the
anything
noodles.
with noodles. Noodles always look so good in things, whether it's like animated or live action. Noodles always look so good.
You know what? My answer is going to be the soup from Tales of the Jedi.
No,
I want a nice flat, no
it looked like
ripples
gasoline.
soup. Nice gasoline soup. I'll take that
Oh.
any day after a PB&J.
Okay, I would want the chowder on tap from the Mandalorian.
Oh my
But
god.
please make sure that there's nothing alive in it beforehand. That's all that I request.
That's part of the deal.
That's not a guarantee. Yeah,
Hmm.
that kind of comes with it.
Be going at it with a knife, but
Chowder on tap.
chowder
I
on
love
tap.
What a sentence. Fantastic sentence.
I'm pretty sure we said it when we covered it back when it happened.
I don't like oysters really at all.
Same.
but something about the Colo clawfish in
That's more
Solo.
like caviar. That's more like caviar.
It
isn't
looks so good and it looks
Yeah.
so fancy and like they're just like
slurping it
like
down.
tossing
It
them
probably,
back.
ugh, but it's probably like gooey.
Yeah.
fishy
Yeah, you're probably
taste.
right.
What about oh gosh, I want to try the basic waffles that like Zeb has in Rebels that they
Mm.
they
Yeah.
always randomly have, and then they get like thrown around and the waffles.
I'm going
You know
blue
what?
noodles or some sort of noodles.
I would like an actual Melu run, like a
Oh,
real
yeah.
one, a real one.
All
Or
right,
I'd
Disney,
go with
get on it.
that cake in Clone Wars.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
Oh God, with
they
the
got
fruit.
what's his face to voice the droid.
yeah. Duff.
Cake. Yeah, they got Duff.
When
cake.
3PO
Cake
and
boss.
R2 have to find like the fruit for the cake. Yeah.
The Jogan
Yeah,
fruits.
and R2 goes to the spa.
Mm.
I always
That
get
did
so
look good.
sad because like 3PO R2 comes out and he's like, "Oh, where's my friend?" I don't know. And he got
Yeah.
stolen. It makes me sad.
It does.
He gets over it though.
Yeah, he does.
Well, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Which one of you is Wallace and which is Gromit?
Okay, well, I'm Gromit. First
I was
of
just
all.
about to say Jamie's Gromit.
I couldn't. I like
I'm definitely Wallace.
like
Yeah.
countless times the guys are doing something absolutely stupid, and I just like either like
Please,
are like
Gromit.
come in with just like a book or something, and I'm literally just like and just like walk away, and I'm like, this is gonna be something I have to fix later. Like,
You look at the
like-
fourth wall.
like literally,
Yep. Literally
There you
just
go.
always looking at the camera. That's you. That's you, a T.
that always has been.
I
And I
guess,
guess-
Matt is you're kind of like that
No.
you're like the rabbit from the Were Rabbit. What was his
Okay.
name?
God,
I'll
Roger.
take that.
Oh,
I don't
gosh,
know.
what was his name?
Something
He had a-
British.
He had a funny name. What was his name?
I need a name. I don't remember his name. But anyways, that's Matt, and he's also Wallace.
Basically.
You dress like Wallace. No, I'm just kidding.
I dress like Wallace. I wish. Are you
Was this
kidding?
the next one? Okay. Do you think Cal Kestis will survive? This is a huge change of pace from the last question.
Yeah,
Last couple
right.
questions.
All of these
An
were
actual
like
serious
non-speculative.
one.
All
A
right.
little bit of
I like a
whiplash here.
speculative question.
Do you think Cal Kestis will survive? We know that there will be a third and final part of the Jedi series.
Yeah, we do know that. We do know there's going to be a conclusion to the trilogy, and they've made it clear that it'll be the last one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go
I
ahead and say no. I think they're going to. I don't think they're going to kill him off. I don't know why I don't think they're going to kill him off. I'm just getting that vibe.
I don't either. I feel like it's too easy to be like, oh, we don't know where he is. He's dead. So he's dead. Like, I like when it turns out they're still alive, but just doing their own thing.
I don't think.
Although
that they'll
people
kill him
complain
off.
about it when they did that with Ahsoka.
No, I know.
But
Well, they kind of have
That's
an out with
different.
this, though. Because if they go to Tanalorr, and I know that's
Yeah.
where they are now, but like, if they do what they have to do in the next game, whatever that may be, and they kind of create a sanctuary at Tanalorr,
mhm.
Hmm.
they can't really get.
as
It
long
could
as
be
that
tough to
secret
travel
is
back
kept,
and forth. Yeah, they could
they-
be there.
they're good. Yeah, I don't think that they'd kill him off because I think that there's too much future potential to kill him off. I think.
Too much
Um,
future potential. I mean,
Yeah.
there have
I
been
mean
a
it.
million rumors swirling around that they're looking at Cameron Monaghan to play Cal Kestis in live action somewhere,
Mhm.
and we know that that's probably going to be after,
Hey,
know,
we'll never know.
the original trilogy. I don't know.
I think that he could survive though.
I
I
always,
I think a lot about this honestly, and I really think that they can make it work.
My only
always
thing
find
is
it-
that. Go ahead.
oh, go ahead. I was just gonna say, I find it funny, like people come back very like conveniently after the original trilogy. Hey, what I
know.
miss? Like,
Dude, literally, the original trilogy is the perfect, like, hey guys, what I miss, like,
yeah,
situation.
it's like the biggest thing in the whole saga.
I know, and nobody's around for it except our heroes, and then all of a sudden everybody shows up again. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. It's true. It can get a little tiring, and I find it funny that Rogue One made sure to kill off all of its heroes so that we weren't asking that question, and then
Yeah.
like nobody else followed through, and now we have like a bunch of like Clone Wars people coming back for like post OT stuff, and it's like
Yeah.
just funny. But if he starts training, what's her name? Bode Akuna's daughter. What's her name?
Yeah.
If only Chad was
Korra?
here.
No, that's a different game.
Oh my god. Was it Korra? No.
No, Korra's
That's
no.
Korra Co. and
Starfield.
Starfield. Whoops.
Well, if he starts training Bode's daughter, which I think could be a plot thread, then his likelihood that he dies goes way up. Kata, that's it.
What if the next game is a big like time jump? I think that would make sense. And Kata's like all grown up, and Noshir Dalal does the voice for Kata.
No sheer wishes.
Just when you thought he couldn't surprise you, Jamie, he comes
That
back.
would be
Comes back.
the ultimate no sheared, I gotta say. Oh
Yeah.
my god. I have to say, a couple weeks back we went to a convention and I got to meet Alex McKenna, who's the voice actor for Sadie Adler in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm.
And somehow it was me and my friend Rachel, and we were talking to the actress here, Alex, and somehow it came up with us talking about Noshir. And I straight up told the voice actor, I was like, yeah, I always call whenever Noshir pops up in the game getting Noshiered. And she thought it was so goddamn funny, she wrote it down to tell him.
That's
Oh
awesome.
wow.
And
That
I'm
is
like,
awesome.
no, I've been exposed. So anyway, he might know now, unfortunately.
Well,
I thought you were gonna bring up a different story that she
No,
mentioned. but
nah, not talking
maybe you're
about
not.
that.
Maybe you're not allowed to just mention that.
Nah.
I think Cal Kestis lives.
I think there's
think
there's
he
a
will.
high likelihood that he lives, but it's not 100%. They could kill
Yeah,
him,
nothing's 100%.
except for Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Ahsoka's 100%.
yeah, she's bulletproof. Saber.
Ahsoka's gonna be 900 years old.
All right, next question. Each of your thoughts on Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws, the latest and greatest in Star Wars gaming.
Here's the thing. I loved it. I'll let you guys like compose your thoughts to think of this more coherently. I loved it. I watched AJ play through the entire thing, and I made it about almost through the entire main quest, and then I broke the game so hard I can't use the blaster. And no amount of me going back and saves is allowing me to remedy this, and so I need to restart the game in order to actually play it fully.
How the hell did that happen?
I don't know, man. I have no idea how I did it. But I've gone back really far in saves, and it still is broken. It might be like one location. The game is still unfortunately like riddled with bugs, and like I know that they'll still like roll out like patches along the way. But overall, I did love
Patches,
the game, and it was a lot of fun.
Patch. That's right, son.
Matt, you give your thoughts. I gotta grab something really quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My thoughts will be as short as the time I spent playing the game, and it has nothing to do with the quality of the game. I really enjoyed the time I spent playing Outlaws, but GameStop was a week late delivering the damn game to me, so I
Yeah,
already
Matt still does the hard copies.
Still do the hard copies. I'm a collector. So I was already a week late into it, and I was against the clock because the new Zelda game was coming out, and I had to play the new Zelda game when it came out, like right away. Zelda's like my top tier game franchise, so I had to do that. I got as far as Kajimi, and I will say everything about the game, from the details, the writing.
You're
the
still only on
character
Kajimi?
work. I haven't played since last I updated you. I will
Holy
eventually. I will get
moly.
back to it. I have to beat
Okay.
it. You know, I'm gonna beat that. I still haven't beat Zelda. I stopped playing Zelda. I'm just really, really, really bad at playing video games consistently. I eventually just fall off because
But that's really bad though.
hyperfixation takes my attention away, and now I spend my night reading comics, Batman comics, instead of playing video games, because that's just how my brain works.
I feel that,
That
or
is
I'll
fun.
I'll like regress into like a game I've played like a million times. Like
That too.
I've been back into playing Cyberpunk. A friend was like asking me like in-depth questions about it recently, and I was like, I have to look into this myself. And due to meeting Red Dead people a couple weeks back, I started a new Red Dead playthrough. I played Skyrim last night. What am I doing? There's a new Stardew Valley update. Oh my god, I've been playing that every night again. So
Started.
I will
is
say,
amazing.
I loved the game. The one thing I would probably complain about is the stealth. I hate stealth in video games. Can't do it. Don't like it.
It's
Even though
tough.
the game says like it's not as difficult, every single friggin' mission has stealth. And eventually, every time they're like, you got to sneak in here, I like roll my eyes and I'm like, oh, okay, fine. And then I go do it. And then I just end up blasting my way through another thing because I'm just bad at stealth. I can't do stealth.
it gets
I
easier
cannot-
as you unlock perks. but it's tough to unlock some of the perks, especially like at a lower level.
Yeah, it's.
but-
I'm too much of an idiot. I can't do stealth. That's just the long and short of it. I'm just an idiot, and I'm a bumbling fool in video games. I can't do it. I can't. Do stealth.
I guess I really enjoyed the stealth after a while, and I'm pretty good at stealth usually, but I did feel earlier on, like kind of where you are, Matt, up that from the beginning to where you are, it is very annoyingly stealth. But I enjoyed like some of the you can go into like syndicate bases on your own when you're in the free roam and imperial bases, and I really enjoyed that stealth. Like I felt like I was James Bond or something, like sneaking up, hit someone over the head, knock them out, and like going into vents and using the taser or the
Mr.
stun
Hitman
mode
over here.
Well, like
yeah, it was
um,
it's very almost Hitman with the
yeah,
sneaking around.
minus throwing like the coin, but I guess you can use Nyx to do
you
that.
can, or you could
Yeah.
whistle. Yeah.
So I really enjoyed the things like the small stealth things like that, like almost like the free roam stealth, rather than some of the mission stealth things.
Yeah.
But I really loved the game. It's like what I would want in a, and we have a whole thing recapping it. We haven't talked with Matt about it yet on here, or really at
Because he
all.
hasn't finished it.
Right. But
I'm useless.
I really enjoyed the game. I find it like I remember playing it and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Like, and for some reason my brain's like, oh, is it better than the last game I played? Like that was Star Wars. And I don't know. Like I was having a blast. And then now that I think back, I'm like, oh, Jedi Survivor, I like way more than this. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't
like
want to
just
say it was like
playing
a
as
little
Jedi.
forgettable. Yeah, and like the story in Jedi Survivor and the Jedi games rather is like incredible. The story in
Yeah.
Outlaws is good, but it's small scale and it should be. I like having small scale stories in Star Wars. It's in the criminal world.
No,
Like,
that's
some of the-
exactly it. Like the Jedi games, Fallen Order and Survivor, are epics in their own way, and Outlaws is kind of more like Solo, in which it's just like, yeah, it's a little fun side
Little bit.
story, it's a little romp. Like that's
Yeah.
what it is.
I honestly see Outlaws as a spiritual successor / semi sequel to Solo. I honestly see
Yeah.
it that way,
And
especially
you'll
with
see
little
it
bit.
so much more
you
when
know.
you finish the plot.
yeah. But I
Well,
how heavily it features Kira. I've already interacted with Kira multiple times. I
Mm.
honestly already feel that way. Like
And it's a
feels
successor
like it's a sequel to Solo.
to the Crimson Dawn comics, which are
Yeah.
a successor to Solo. So like, yeah, it's really cool, and I love the criminal underworld of Star Wars a lot. Obviously the Jedi and the Sith stuff and all and the political stuff overrides that in Star Wars as in terms of like importance and how much I like that. But it's cool to get down on like the ground levels of the criminal underworld and see what's going on. All these little things add up to what Star Wars is, and having a open world Star Wars game was incredible. Like it was
Oh, yeah.
almost everything I would want it to be, and I hope whoever does the next open world Star Wars game can take what this game was and make it a bit cleaner and the combat better and the stealth better, and just use this as like a stepping stone to the next game, which could be awesome. But yeah, Outlaws, good game. I recommend everyone to go play it. Understandable
Absolutely.
if you can't. $70 is a lot for a game maybe you
Yeah.
don't want to play, but if it goes on sale like that second, like I'd be like,
Pick it
jump
up
on that.
Pick it up on discount if you can,
yeah.
at the very least.
What next question? What Star Wars character would be the best basketball player?
It's random.
Oh man,
Um,
what monstrosity can I think of here?
I mean, Ben Quadraneros has 4 arms and really long legs.
Yeah, but is he tall?
Yeah.
I don't know if
You
he's
know,
tall.
we
We never really see him
that,
stand up.
but he has to fit in the pod.
And you don't have to be
Remember
tall to
that.
be good at basketball.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
You could be like Steph Curry, or anyone that doesn't probably know basketball here. But Steph
How
Curry's
tall
not
is
that
Steph
big.
Curry?
I don't know. Probably taller than any of us, but he's not like
If it's
6'11".
over 6 feet, he's tall. I don't care.
Of course, I consider tall over like 6'1".
No, 6 feet is tall. He's 6'2". Get out of here. He's tall.
That's pretty damn tall.
But compared to
pretty
who he's
damn
playing
tall.
against, though,
I don't care. I don't care. He's tall.
Well,
Okay,
anyway,
I'm 5'8". If I'm trying to play basketball with any of those guys, I'm getting my ass kicked. Anybody who's good and 5'8" cannot hold up against people who are 6'2". You just can't. It's impossible. I'm sorry.
what about Isaiah Thomas? Celtics Isaiah Thomas.
I don't know who that is.
you got
was on the
Peyton
team, like,
Pritchard
a
at
few
half
years
court
ago.
doing shots at like right
Pritchard's
before the buzzer.
6'1".
He is. He
Yeah.
looks so small compared to all the other guys.
Well, he is.
Isaiah
Whatever.
Thomas is 5'9". I'll give him that. The fact that he can hold his own, that's pretty impressive. I'll give him
Yeah,
that.
well, he could hold, could
Okay.
hold his own.
Well, anyway.
Anyways.
So what Star Wars character? We're not devolving into Celtics talk suddenly.
Team Topagles. No, I'm just kidding.
That's-
I would say Chewy. Like imagine
yeah.
imagine him just like standing like goalkeeping. Just
Yeah, Chewy would be.
he get fouled so often,
Can I
but
choose
then they'd be
Gascano?
like, whoa.
I was thinking
Who-
Wampa earlier. Actually,
I'd actually
Gascano
go.
would be good. Oh, you know who would crush at basketball? Lamasu. That's it. That's my that's
Wouldn't
my
it be
choice.
slow?
Why would he be slow?
They run really slowly.
They're
Or
just
they walk
deliberate
slowly.
people.
I'm going Yoda. I'm defying the height rule, and Yoda can slam down like no tomorrow.
Judge me by my size.
I always wonder. So obviously they can't do this in real basketball, but if you could dunk from the 3-point line, would it be a 3-pointer?
No.
No.
No
Isn't
one
the
can
whole-
do it, but like, I'm sure there's a rule.
So, like, say if Mr. Fantastic
K2
decided
would
to
be
play
good.
basketball and he stretched his arm all the way to the hoop
See-
and dunked it from the 3-point line, would that be a 3-pointer?
Matt's dad, if you're watching,
No.
and I know you are.
I feel like that would be a dunk. But I don't know.
But
Well,
a
it could
dunk,
be a dunk, but can a dunk be 3 points?
a
What
dunk is 2
constitutes
points.
But
A dunk.
Exactly.
what if you reached over, dropped it in from above the hoop, and never made contact with the hoop or anything?
Then that would be a 3-pointer.
I
No,
would
you
think
know
so.
what? I feel like no, because I feel like it's actually where the ball leaves your hand.
Okay.
Why are we
determines
talking about?
what
don't
the
think it is,
score will
though.
be. I
I'll
think
have
it
to
is.
I'll follow up after there, and we'll. I
Oh,
know
maybe it's where
everyone's-
your feet are,
It's where your feet are.
but it should be where
Thought
your
it's where the
hand
ball
is,
leaves your
too.
hand.
No, it's where your feet are.
Well,
I
they'd
could,
have to
I could
change
go
it.
into
I'm just
detail,
throwing it
but
out there.
I'm gonna bore everyone. So I'm not gonna go into detail. Okay, what's the best basketball? I'm going Yoda. I chose Yoda.
I'm going Lamasu.
I'm gonna pick Chewy. There you go.
What a trio! That's our basketball team.
That's a good basketball team.
We're gonna win.
What's your
Ooh.
favorite non-Star Wars franchise? That's a good one.
I got a lot of those.
All time.
I have 2 that come to mind, and tell me if you think these are accurate for me.
Lego?
James Bond and
Yes.
Batman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is there one I would be missing? I mean, I love Halo, but like,
I would say Halo,
I was gonna
but
say
not as
Halo.
much as in the past. And honestly, it's not like a franchise, but like it is a franchise.
Oh,
But
it
the
definitely is.
Patriots,
oh,
I, I would
Oh,
say them.
the
I would-
Patriots are literally a franchise.
I would count them. Like
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
Why
your
not?
bread and butter, my dude.
We'll give that to you.
Cool.
I'm just trying to think of
I
how many
actually-
to list.
I have an official top 5 and then 5 honorable mentions, but I'll only do the
Go
official
for it.
top 5.
Okay.
So my official top 5 is Star Wars at number 1. Slightly below Star Wars is Spider-Man.
Is this everything but the
Spider-Man-
Beatles?
Everything but the Beatles.
So,
I'm just
so
kidding.
everything
Yeah.
but Star Wars, I guess, is the
I'm just
yeah,
making fun of
everything
you.
but Star Wars.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man would be number 2 for sure. Spider-Man was like it for me when I was a kid. Like that was
Yeah.
I honestly might have liked Spider-Man more than Star Wars when I was a kid.
We're talking
Not
now,
even
though, right now.
Now, your
right
favorite.
now
your
I
all-time
said
favorites
it's-
now.
it's a number 2 underneath Star Wars. So Star Wars, then I would probably say Godzilla is number 3. Humongous Godzilla fan. Then number 4 would be Zelda, and number 5 would be Indiana Jones. Those are my top 5
Okay.
franchises.
Okay.
Sounds right.
All right. Let me think.
Look around
I just
the room.
I did a look around the room, but the stuff that I looked at was like not helpful because it's like all Star Wars.
We should really do the newlywed game, but it's like guessing each other's things. Because I
Yeah,
want
we
to be
need
like
to.
That would be fun.
right now I want to guess like what yours would be that you would say, but I don't want to obviously
Um,
overshadow.
Okay, well, we'll think about it and then tell me if I missed one. But I'll pick 3.
Okay.
For me, outside of Star Wars, non-Star Wars favorites. Sorry, I don't remember what I like. Fallout number.
Yep,
is
That's
up
what I would
there.
have guessed.
Yeah, I was definitely waiting for that one.
I don't want to pick all video games, but like that's what it's like been recently. What else? Oh, favorite non-Star Wars
Dead.
franchise. Red Dead. I know. Yes, but I was actually gonna say Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, there you go.
Like that was like taking Matt's cue here, but that was always like a really big thing for me, like growing up. And then, anyway, what's another one that I really like that I talk about all the time, but I don't talk about all the time? Is there anything really good? I don't know.
It's always interesting too, because like you and Matt
You
are
get-
kind of similar, where you have
Yeah,
like
we-
hyperfixation things where it's like this is my thing now. But
You
Yeah.
ride the wave.
It's so
I think
fun riding
that
the wave.
comfortably, I can say, I guess, Fallout, SNL, and Red Dead. Because those
you got a
three
map
kind
of
of.
Tamriel behind you.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like, yes,
Bethesda
I was
Second
expecting
Mind.
you to say Elder Scrolls.
yes, but no, because I really just like Skyrim and
That's true.
Oblivion. Like the other, I haven't really dabbled in any of the others, and so,
So
I
the-
watch a lot of lore. But like, I don't know, I could say Cyberpunk, but like, I've really only dove into like 2077 lore. So like, I don't know, man. There's
Oh,
a
God.
lot.
Millie brought up a good one.
I can't think about
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters anymore.
Hmm.
That used to be one.
here we
It's up
go.
there, but it's
That's
not
it.
not that much anymore.
There it is.
Okay, that's an interesting question though, and obviously I'm a huge basketball fan, but the topics never come up.
We got clarification about the 3-pointer conversation.
plays
The
under
last
review.
question.
Thanks, Dad.
Oh God. Did I get my own picks right, AJ? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you would have. I think you would have to include Ghostbusters. I know
Stranger
it's-
Yeah.
Things.
Stranger Things is a really big one. I haven't thought about it that much recently, but yes,
Stranger
really
Things
big
is like
one.
the Olympics for me. It's like I absolutely love it when it's out, and then when it's over, I kind of forget about it until the next season comes out, and I never really rewatch it.
You know, I really do
Yeah.
love Stranger Things so much. The fact that my friend Sam and I started a show about it.
Yeah.
And we talked about it recently, actually. I was like, hey, you still want to do this? And Sam was like, yeah, I still want to do this. She's like, let me know when. And I'm like, you've had a baby this year. Are you sure you're free? And she's like, I am free. And I'm like, all right, it's riding on me. So
You know, I
Well,
really
we
forgot about
will.
the Olympics.
we that's one of your favorite
The
franchises.
Olympics is
And we
I
will
do
do my
love the
Stranger
Olympics.
Things
It's
thing
an all
another
time.
time.
Mario Party. I'm just kidding.
yeah, Mario Party.
I think at the end of the day, so the fact that we can list off so many non-Star Wars franchises is really good. And I
Yeah.
always say this to like everyone who's just like, oh man, Star Wars is just like really like dragging me down. It's okay to go look like something else. It's okay to
Yeah,
dive
of
into
course.
something else.
It'll be
I
there when you
highly
come back.
recommend it all the time if you can.
Guys,
Like,
I'm right now. I'm big into Batman. I think about
Damn,
Batman
man.
constantly every damn day of my life right now for the past like month.
Jamie,
has
I'm
been
surprised
just consumed
you didn't
by
say
it.
Batman.
because you said Batman.
You could say. You can also.
I
say
would have
Batman.
said Batman. I love Batman. Batman is like low key the thing, the nerdy thing that like got me into like nerdy things. It was like
Yeah.
it was Batman.
Yeah, that's Batman has entered into my honorable mentions 5.
Batman's up there.
Batman
I'm
has
happy to hear
has
it.
definitely been inflated like a million times after this last month.
Yeah, but it's still really good. I love
The
all
Penguin,
Batman.
phenomenal show.
Oh, yeah,
It was
Penguin.
so good, man.
Don't spoil it. I've already
Yeah,
done
nobody
spoil
spoil it.
Nobody spoil it.
That's okay.
Alrighty, back to Star Wars. What movies are you looking forward to the most?
Rey.
Mando and Grogu, Mangold,
Man,
which reminds me of our funny
Man,
Bond memes from
Man- what was it? Oh, what was it?
Man
Man-
Love.
Mando-
Man love. Man love.
Man Love, yeah.
I was going to
Fantastic.
Seinfeld.
Filoni and Kinberg, which is the newest thing.
This is the new writer announcement, right? So isn't
Yeah,
yeah,
that
Kinberg.
that trilogy thing.
oh, okay?
We have
the
literally
Rey
no
movie.
info on it. Yeah, Ray movie.
That's what I'm
definitely
looking forward to the
is
most.
Yeah,
Tops the charts for me, followed by Dawn of the Jedi. I'm really looking forward to Dawn of the Jedi.
that could be very cool. Yeah,
That's going to be a blast.
Mm.
But Ray,
I'm
the Ray
also-
movie is at the top of my list for me.
I'm really looking forward to quote unquote Heir to the Empire.
Yes, I am
Filoni
looking
movie.
forward to the flow. Literally everything on the list, but the Mandalorian and Grogu. I am really looking forward to.
Yeah,
I could not give two shits about the Mandalorian and Grogu.
I bet. I mean, yeah, no, I agree. For
I'm
several
gonna
rea-
see it opening night, and I'm gonna love it. But I could
For
not
several
care
reasons.
less about it.
I don't love. We've talked.
I
about
just
it. I don't-
haven't thought about it in so long. I
No,
think
and
that
It's so
think-
forced, and it's a business choice.
there's just
so
so much
forced.
around it. It's just like, yeah, like I'll go see it when it comes out, but it's just like everything surrounding it. It's just like, yeah, okay, like
It's
I'll go see
clearly a
it. Please
Disney
just don't,
mandate.
just don't like force it down at us. But like, okay.
Yeah.
Disney
I-
Mangold.
Well, before we were like getting ready for the stream, I like walked by like one of my lone Grogu plushies because I haven't fallen victim to Grogu capitalism, believe it or not. I literally looked at the stupid thing and I'm just like, I haven't thought about you in a long time. And then I went and I did the stream. So like
And then Grogu
Yeah.
goes, I haven't thought of you at all.
exactly. I think he did say that.
Well, I just think like we rewatched like half of Ahsoka fairly recently. And we have to rewatch it again because we
Mhm.
lost steam and want to go back again. But like that show is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's probably my second favorite Star Wars show after Andor, of course. And
Hmm.
it's really a shame of you know, it really sucks what happened with Ray Stevenson because
Absolutely.
he did such a phenomenal job as
It was one of the
as
best
Balin.
parts of the show.
Balin was incredible, and I
Yeah.
feel like they have big plans for him or had big plans. I don't know what they're gonna do.
I
But,
think they're going to recast him. I
gotta.
love
Yeah.
Ray Stevenson, but please recast him. Like recast Balin. I'm sorry. I don't know. I always hate. I really don't think they did it well with Black Panther. I don't like when they choose not to recast a character just because like the actor died. I know it's like tough. I know it's really tough. But currently Indiana Jones is going to die because Harrison Ford is like attached to that character and they'll never do another Indiana Jones film. And that kills me. Recasting is okay. You don't have to create CG abominations of people like the CG Luke or, you know.
I think Solo should
Tarkin.
have been a lesson that was good, but it unfortunately didn't
They
do well.
took
We
the
all loved it, and
wrong
a lot of people
thing
loved
from
it, but financially it didn't do well at the box office, and they take that as, oh, people don't like recasting, so it's like the wrong lesson,
which is
I think.
stupid. Yeah, the lesson from Solo was learn how to market your films,
Yeah.
and they did not take that lesson from it at all, and instead said,
And they still
nobody likes the recast. Yeah, no, and they're still not marketing anything properly.
Yeah,
but that's another story.
but hey, Star Wars, if you show up in our chat, we still love you.
Yeah, well, of course.
But yeah, I know the marketing is that's been my biggest thing.
We love you.
The past 4 years, 4+ years, I guess. But I don't know. But my answer to this question is the Ray movie.
Yes,
Ray movie.
Same.
I'm intrigued by the Kinberg. Is that his name?
Yeah.
I think the
idea, but we'll see.
My
Like
thing
the-
with my
yeah.
take with just like the movies that I'm looking forward to the most is this is something that does not even live rent free in my head that's even happening. Honestly, like I forget that all of these movies are happening in the future. Like I don't
as
really
you
have
should. I mean,
any
this-
sort of like excitement like built up. Like yeah, sure,
get
I would love
attached
to
to
see
them.
like Rey in like the future. She's one
Other
of my all-time
than-
favorite characters. But like this literally, I don't even know. Like I know what's coming next year for Star Wars, and I'm like, all right, cool. I got other stuff that I'm also like interested in. Like yeah, we have like a Star Wars podcast, and we'll talk about all of it. But like, there's so much else like outside of Star Wars that I'm just like, yeah, I got a lot of stuff. I'm content.
it's not
I mean,
even.
But like,
I don't.
yeah.
I don't know if this is a piece of why you think that, but literally, other than Mando and Grogu, we don't even know if any of these other movies are being made.
I
Exactly.
mean,
Like,
probably.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Exactly.
I-
So you cannot get attached to them because
Yeah.
there's nothing to attach to.
I just don't think about it, unfortunately.
And right now, when it comes to Star Wars, I'm fat and happy with the Battle of Jakku comic series.
It's
I'm
been great.
I've just been enjoying that, and we're going to be getting Legacy of Vader in February, and I could not be more happy with that.
I gotta
Yeah.
say, I've been having the time of my life the last few months of reading every single fanfic I can about Kanan and Hera. It has been
Oh my God.
the time of my life. I gotta
There you
say,
go.
I did find a really random one recently that I did not expect the turn that it took. Oh my god. But I'm starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel, so I need something soon.
Jason kisses Albus. What a
No.
twist!
No,
What
but
a
like
twist.
they're I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's starting to be Jason kissed Poe, and I'm like, okay, so
Oh God.
we're
Oh my
that
God.
far ahead. But anyway,
Amelia has a good point about Thunderbolt Ross with Harrison Ford, which is kind of like the reverse Indiana Jones. Well, literally,
It
like
is.
they
So
took
what
an
you're
actor
saying-
with all due respect, I don't even know his name. I know he passed away, but
John Hurt, I think. Right?
like
Is that
yeah,
his name?
and he was great as the character, but you're bringing in Harrison Ford, who's
Nope, not John Hurt. He's from Alien.
oh my goodness.
What's his name? What's his name? Oh, don't give me that.
I'm so out of
William
the loop
Hurt.
with
William
Marvel.
Hurt.
William. Okay, you were close.
I'm so out of the
Um,
loop with Marvel. It's just there's just so much still. Anyway,
Next question
Ooh.
is scariest Star Wars villain.
Ooh.
We have
You
a lot
know-
of questions on
Sebulba,
this
does
thing.
that count?
sure.
Yeah, sure.
Dude's terrifying.
He is scary. Those goggles, even without
Oh,
the
yeah.
goggles.
Hmm.
He walks on his hands and picks things up with his feet. What the hell kind of backward shit is that?
It's a Max Rego.
Crazy. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Honestly, I would say like Mother Talzin.
Mother
Yeah.
Talzin is pretty
She's up
freaky.
there.
She is
The
very
Night
scary.
Sisters, pretty spooky.
I don't want to say Maul. I mean, that's such an easy answer.
I
That's
almost
better
said
than-
Maul, but then I was like, Mother Talzin.
I'm gonna go metal. No, I'm gonna go Spider Legs Maul.
Spider
Yeah,
Legs Maul.
Insane
okay.
Maul.
Maul in general, but specifically that was wild.
Insane Maul with his little snake henchman. Very good.
I wanted to think of something wild, but
I'm trying to think currently of something
I mean,
wild.
it's not like a villain, but I mean the Dianoga always scares me. Anything in like anything in video games since I was a kid, that's like if you're doing it is a video game thing, but if you're swimming, even to this day, I'm like, am I able to use a weapon right now in swimming in this game? Because if I am, that means there's gonna be something scary under the
This
water.
isn't good.
That's so you have
Yeah.
thalassophobia. The Dianoga gave you thalassophobia, which is
What
like
is
the
that?
fear
What's
of,
that?
like,
Fear of?
the fear of like dark water or like unknown things under the water.
Yeah, I would say I guess I have that. Yeah.
Millie brings up the Stranger. That's pretty good. The Stranger is pretty scary. Dude
He
was pretty
was.
freaky.
He was, but he was also awesome.
He's also a softie, a little bit of a softie. So you can't really say he's
Depending.
totally scary. I
Not
mean,
if you're Yord.
Zombie Palpatine
That's pretty spooky.
was pretty scary. Like
was
that's probably
scary.
the scariest Star Wars has ever gotten. Like the blank milky eyes, rotted fingers attached to the machine, just kind of like.
I want to know who your dad thinks is the scariest.
All right, Dad.
villain.
Answer in. He'll probably say something like Darth Vader.
Phone it in.
I mean,
Hey,
Darth Vader is pretty
like,
scary.
It's scary.
He should be. He-
Vader is
like,
Rogue One
legitimately
hallway
terrifying.
scene.
Rogue
Yeah.
One hallway scene, anything in Kenobi, like when he snaps that kid's neck for no
Yep.
reason. He's just killing
Uh,
people to bring Obi-Wan out of the shadows.
Trilla when he shows up behind Trilla.
Just
Mm.
terrifying. Or when he shows up behind Trilla. You're right.
Anybody?
Yeah, literally anybody. And when he shows up in Survivor too, also scary. Ooh.
Yeah, no, it's also
Mm.
menacing. Favorite character from Star Wars Rebels,
Oh.
and who is a close second?
And I bet they asked that because they knew what our answer was going to be, or at least
Probably.
me and Jamie.
All
And
of us.
AJ. I'm pretty
I mean,
sure
mine-
everyone
mine's
knows.
pretty obvious.
Yeah.
too.
Okay. Well, yeah, true.
All right, rapid fire. AJ,
Hera.
Matt,
Kanan.
Kanan,
It's not even
All right,
close.
who's the second though?
Hera.
It might be Hera for me too.
Zeb.
You know what? Screw it.
Nah.
I'm going Ezra. I've
Oh, that's fair.
grown to love
great.
Ezra.
Ezra's
Many
really
times
grown
I've
on me.
watched Rebels. He grows on me every single time I rewatch Rebels. I like him more and more.
No, I definitely
It's
agree
really
with that.
grown.
Chopper's obviously amazing, and Sabine. I mean,
Yes.
they're all out of all the Star Wars things. I feel like it's like the Ghost Crew alone is like
Yeah.
they're all
Honest-
amazing.
Like
you,
I
you could
love
argue any
everything
day, like,
about Rebels.
Yeah.
Like
oh
Yep.
yeah,
I love all of them. There isn't a character that I dislike. Like it's taken me years to like Ezra a lot, but there isn't anyone that I like dislike at this
did
point.
it take Amon Esfandi to do it? Maybe.
It did. Honestly, it did. It took him on for me
With
to
his fucking
like
hat.
Ezra, and then I rewatched
so
bits of
good as
Rebels, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah.
The last rewatch I did, I realized like Ezra is so compassionate, and that's like my favorite
Yeah.
thing in any Star Wars hero. Like ultra compassion, and Ezra has it. Like he's sassy and he's annoying because he's a kid, but at the same time, like anytime he sees any injustice, it's immediately he'll go soft and be like, "Hey, that's wrong." And I
What,
like
like,
that.
what like hit me like as well of like liking Ezra more is AJ would always remind me of this. He's like, how can Kanan be your favorite character and Ezra isn't like supplementary to that? And I'm like, what do you mean? I was just a kid. And then I think about it further, and I'm like, I really can't. Like, he is an awesome character, and I
Yeah.
have to give him that credit more. So
Yeah.
But Kanan is he's the best. He's my favorite Jedi. He's the
My-
best Jedi ever written, I think.
he's my favorite Star Wars character of all
Yeah.
time.
Well,
I've
he's
said
up
it
there for me
before.
too.
I don't know why he doesn't click with me as much. I mean, which is good. Like, it's good that we all have different like minds and opinions of it. But
You love a good pilot. Like Han used to be your all-time
It's
favorite,
not even-
and then
it's
like
not even-
it was
it's
Hera
not even
is just like
that.
so good though.
I just
You do
find
love a good
Hera
pilot.
such a complex, warm but badass character. Like, I don't know. Like, she's a good
Hera,
like
Han,
comfort
and Poe.
character, and I like her backstory of like her dad and like what he stood for, and like down to her, and she's kind of the same thing, and then how that continued. Like, she's just such a good character. Where it's like Kanan has that too, obviously, but
Yeah,
I guess I just see him as a. I mean, I love Kanan. He'd probably be like number 3 for me, in my Rebels characters.
Also, we have an answer from my dad about scariest Star Wars villain.
What do we got? I love how every time this is dad.
This is dad.
Well,
Thanks, Dad.
Vader, yeah, we knew
Okay,
it.
Vader or
And-
Snoke.
Snoke
had
who had
no
no
teeth.
teeth, but I was scared. Did Snoke not have teeth?
I think he means like it turns out that Snoke wasn't as scary as he originally was supposed to be because he got killed off so easily, rather than
Oh,
he
so, like-
actually literally had no teeth.
Okay, figuratively.
You guys
Figuratively
want to see
had no
something
teeth.
tragic that I put in my background? I put this skull back there.
Oh, with the mask.
I
Oh,
wanted
that
everyone to see
hurts.
this.
Oh, that
everyone,
hurts.
everyone needs to see this because I did it myself.
If
Anyway.
anybody ever wants to see me cry, the best way to do it is for us to watch Jedi Knight. I cry every single time I watch that. Every single time.
The
and it's-
best part about this arrangement, though, is
Guaranteed.
that the tech goggles are actually right next to it, but I'm not going to
Oh
show
my-
you that.
That's
the
so
tech goggles
cool.
on
You're
the
s-
skull.
All my favorite
That's so
characters are Dead
mean.
Club.
Yeah, Jedi Knight is tough. I don't know if it would make me
That's an
cry
auto
every
cry
time.
for me.
The Bad Batch ending gets me. We
That
have a bit of a
gets
drought
me.
here in Massachusetts, and if we watch that, it'd probably fix that situation.
Fix you right up.
Either of those
Yeah,
episodes. I mean,
Every
those are-
time I
those are
had to
tough.
like rewatch that epilogue, for my references, which was many times, I would be sitting here taking pictures and then just like slink against the wall, just because like I can't like rewatch it like all the way. It's so
a different.
rough.
It's a different kind of.
Because it's so
sad, I
hopeful, but
guess.
it's so
Yeah.
nice, and it's just
It's just such a. Yeah, we've been over it.
Yeah, it's
I
very
could not tell
sweet
you the
and
last time
nice.
I rewatched Jedi Knight. I gotta say.
Well, we always get close, and then we're like, we can't get there, and then we have to restart again.
Oh,
Hmm.
But
God.
Rebels, good stuff.
Yeah.
Favorite new Star Wars character created in the last year.
Wait,
it doesn't say
character,
character.
or just
I
in
think
general?
it just says Star Wars.
Favorite
Okay.
new
Favorite
Star
new-
Wars
favorite
created
new
in the
Star Wars
last year.
created in the last year.
Well,
So
we
I think
can
that just means,
also
like
we can supplementary
material.
do character if you want.
Material. So like
Okay.
Acolyte, Outlaws, any of the comics.
Okay. Not Bad Batch though, because it wasn't new within the last year.
Bad Batch season 3 was in the last year, so yes.
Yeah,
Right, I mean, that's gonna be my show
definitely.
of the year, which I've teased now twice.
That's
Oh.
technically new Star Wars. A new season of a show would be new Star Wars because it's all new content. Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Mm.
Has to be. Has to be.
So,
That's
Okay.
rules.
that being said, it was my favorite new Star Wars of the year, but I really enjoyed Outlaws.
I
as
think-
much as I was like making fun of it earlier, I think that also was my other favorite new Star Wars of the year. It was just
Oh,
like
yeah.
fun to see something that wasn't just another show, another book. It was like we got a video game, yay! And it was enjoyable. I had fun with it.
So I think the question, and when I typed it over to this, I think on social media it said favorite new Star Wars character created,
Okay.
and that's on me. But I guess we can say both.
Okay.
But
Then my
character's
fa-
kind of more interesting.
Then my favorite new character in this past year was Batcher the Lurkahound.
Yeah, Batcher was fantastic.
No, but
Love
really,
that.
I love Batcher. I think that actually for a more serious question, I love Jackie in the Acolyte.
yeah,
I adored Jackie. I think
Might
that
be a
she
real
probably was
one.
my favorite character this year.
Jackie was fantastic. I'll go Chimere. I voted for him
I'm-
like every week. in the
I'm going
shows.
Chimere as well.
Yeah,
Even though Yord is a close second,
Yep.
Mm,
but he didn't live long enough. Chimere is such a fantastic character. I really hope we get more of him at some point. I know we will.
I do too.
But
Yeah, in some way,
It
shape,
better.
or form.
I'm looking
And
forward to it. And for
and
my
Manny
favorite Star Wars story. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Manny Jacinto like wants it as bad as we do. So I imagine there's some sort. There'll
They
be
have
some sort of push eventually.
It has to be.
Yeah. But yeah,
And
your
I'm going to
favorite
say
Star
Battle
Wars
of
story?
Jakku comics. The Battle of Jakku comics. Never in a trillion bajillion years did I ever think I would be getting any Star Wars content that reminds me of Uprising or continues Uprising story or anything related to Uprising. I thought that was just done and gone. I literally downloaded the script on my phone and like read through like the game script because I just loved the story so much. And now I'm getting a comic based on that, and I couldn't be happier.
I wish I could play
I'm
the
over the
game.
moon.
I never
wish-
really dabbled in it much, and I wish I could still play.
I wish I could go back to it. It was just really cool world building, and it had some fantastic art. They never released the art of the art of Star Wars Uprising like publicly. People who worked on the game got the book, and I've always searching
seen
it out
pictures of it.
online because that has to be some of my favorite Star Wars artwork I've ever seen.
You know where that's gonna pop up?
where?
It's gonna be on a Facebook Marketplace one day or something for
I'm
like
honestly
$500.
we'll be looking. We'll
Like
be on
that
the
Jerry
lookout.
Seinfeld shirt I found. Yeah, no, And that pin that I got, remember the pin I got at PAX East? But I
Yes.
traded for it
Oh,
from PAX
yeah.
West. That's probably worth a lot now that the comic is out. So.
Yeah, you might be right.
But yeah, no, the comics have been really fun. I think there's 4 issues out now, and the
4
next
issues.
arc
First
starts
arc
next
is
week.
done. Yep.
Yeah,
There's 2 more arcs left.
they're flying out
I'm
too.
over the
Like
moon.
they're out like every week or every other week. Like
It's
I don't
every
know if
other
it's
week.
more- That's awesome.
It's great.
I've been
could not
enjoying
be
it.
happier.
Yeah. So Jamie, did you give your? Yeah, you said Jackie.
Yeah, I did. I was trying to find the pin that you mentioned, but it wasn't with the PAX ones, and I'm just like, where is it?
We lost it.
Oh well, it's around.
I have another cool collectible thing that I recently found, but maybe I'll bring it up after. So, what's the biggest change in the fandom during your time podcasting? And congrats.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is a really heavy question.
I have an answer.
Go ahead.
Me too.
It's not a good one, but
No.
the biggest change I noticed was just when Acolyte started coming out, and everything just like seemed to like hit the wall, hit the fan with the fandom. Everything hit the fandom.
Haha.
And I was like, what is going on? Like this, and that's really obviously all time. There's been a lot of Star Wars negativity in the fandom. Sequel trilogy, it came up. Prequels way back, it came up. But in this day of social media, it's a mess, of course. But when the Acolyte came out, it was just crazy. Like it's the first time I've really noticed it within our community, I would say.
You had people trying to argue that a supplementary DVD that came with like a Phantom Menace book was canon, and that Kiedi Mundi being in the Acolyte like broke canon. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking? Like, it really showed that a lot of fans, I don't want to say don't know what they're talking about, but they're not paying enough attention to be able to talk about what is definitive lore and what isn't, and that really disappointed me. Because it comes from a bad faith place. It doesn't come from a good faith place where you want to actually have a discussion and talk about lore. It comes from a place where people just want to be right and have their viewpoints affirmed. And it's really tiring, man. Like, it's so tiring to have to deal with that.
And that's even like in your own niche of like lore heads.
Yeah.
Like even just as like people enjoying it and not thinking about the lore, they probably, I mean, I don't know, it became kind of mainstream, the dislike for Acolyte, which was unfortunate.
It was, not good. A very bad showing for the fandom. Did not help the reputation that Star Wars fans have developed over our 40-year-long existence, 50-year-long existence.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the biggest change is a negative one, which I guess sort of makes sense, but
definitely a downward
for what we're dealing with. I mean, the other, I guess the positive note would be like when Andor came out.
Yeah.
Or even we weren't technically covering it, but when Mandalorian came out, Mandalorian season 2, I guess we were covering that. Like that was an uphill
Yeah.
thing.
So I was gonna do a positive bit of that, of like the biggest change that I saw in the time that we were podcasting is we happened to hit it starting our podcast right when there were a lot of podcasts popping up.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them. And so because everyone was like, oh, what do we do? Let's make a Star Wars podcast. And now there's like not as many. There are still a ton, but not as many who have been around for as long as we've been doing this for the 4 years. That doesn't even sound like it's that long, but that's a long time to be doing something when you actually think about it. Like imagine being at like a job for 4 years. Actually, it's like, whoa, that you are a senior employee at that point.
Hey.
So like, I think that's like almost like a big like personal change of just like we got into podcasting during that time, and so it kind of like opened more of like the community surrounding podcasting was a little bit different like when we started, and through podcasting we met more people, made more connections, made more friends along the way, and like that's like changed like for us. I think that's like the biggest change. Getting to tell the guys like as so and so like messaged me and they're like, oh no way, like that's fun, like that's
Never
like the biggest. No, like, and it's like someone totally random who's like really cool, and we're like, wait, what? And so like that's like really cool, like a personal like big change within the fandom of like we're getting more access to talk to other people in the fandom. That wasn't something that we like would have like had before, but like the guy said, like it's unfortunate that like in the past year, like the biggest change that everyone has felt has just been like the widespread negativity. And like that's unfortunately just the interconnectedness of everyone across the world, and everyone has access to a phone, to a keyboard, to the internet, and they just think that they are completely right. And it's just like, okay, you got to say what you got to say, but you should not say all the things just because you have it in front of you doesn't mean you need
Everyone
to say anything.
everyone
Like,
today, and I
it's
don't want to
just
say
so
everyone,
frustrating.
but so many people can't admit when they're wrong about things. And you're so much stronger if you're able to admit when you're wrong. And this is like, this is cheesy, but like, it takes more strength to admit when you're wrong than just think you're right all the time. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of times Matt and I disagree on things, and like, we admit to each other when we're wrong about things, but like, I don't know. People don't do that. I don't know.
No, they don't.
Communication through a computer and through phone is much different than it is like in real life. And as much as we feel like it is bringing us all closer together, it is actually like isolating us so much more than we actually think it is. Because we have made tons of connections, but at the same time, it's just like, oh man, this person that I'm like friends with lives on like the other side of the country, on the other side of the world. I'm never actually going to get to see them. But on the flip side, someone who's out there just like tossing their comments into the void are also just like, oh, I'm never going to see this person in my life. But like, you might. And the words are words, and it's just frustrating. Yeah.
With all that said,
So,
with all that said, we did talk about how we've become more engaged with the fandom, and the side of the fandom that we have become engaged in has been just unbelievably fantastic.
and I'm so
And
grateful.
there are
for them.
so many cool people in the Star Wars fandom that do so many cool things. And sometimes, I just hope that someday their voices become the norm, become elevated to a point where they are the fandom, they are the representation of the fandom, and not kind of the loud heads that are out there,
I love the community that like we engage with, and that
Yeah.
like we get the chance to like talk to and whatnot. And I feel like I mentioned it on one of our last streams of like I'm so happy and so proud whenever I see like people that we've been talking to for years like graduate college, get new jobs, and
know.
like see them like make something of themselves. And then not just like within podcasting, people that I've known like cosplay friend wise as well, like literally seeing them also just like get elevated and get like more opportunities. I'm like, yeah, this is what it's about. Like learn, like you did like what you could talking about Star Wars, and this is, look at you go, this is fantastic. I love to see that.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's good to see each other. And there might be more questions on this later. We still have 7 more to get to, I think.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
crap.
Yeah, so we keep taking a long time on each question. But yeah, I
This
mean,
is an heavy one.
the community of it is what really makes it fantastic. And I think rather than being competitive over it, because like whether you're doing it for fun or reputation or
everyone wants
monetary
the
values,
numbers,
like,
everyone wants the views, but like it is the connections and like actually
it's
getting
better
to
to
talk with
support each
other
other
people
and
and sharing it that makes it so much more beneficial, more rewarding,
and it's more
That's the word.
sustainable. If you're just
Yeah.
out there trying to get views and this and that all the time, like you're just gonna burn yourself out, and you're not gonna feel as rewarded. But like when you do these things with everyone, it's like you're building that. But anyways, next question. What's your favorite Star Wars story?
Ooh.
Whether it's a show, movie, game, book, etc.
Oh God. Oh man.
So I don't know. I guess that's different from like what's your favorite Star Wars movie or something, obviously.
Mm-hmm. That's really tough.
And I'm gonna go Star Wars Rebels.
Star Wars Rebels.
That's my favorite Star Wars story.
I mean, it's so boring to say Empire Strikes Back, even though it's true for me. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite Star Wars thing. I could sit down and watch that on repeat every day for the rest of my life and never get sick of it. Yoda's speeches on the Force carry me through my day-to-day life. And
that and peanut butter sandwiches.
Yoda eating a peanut butter sandwich and talking about the Force would be like my ultimate Star Wars story, but nobody's made that yet.
That's your ultimate Star Wars fantasy.
We're waiting for that any day now.
I
guess I might agree with you on Rebels if I wanted to get a little more spicy with it.
Getting spicy with it. I mean, I would love to also say Rebels, but just for the sake of seeing something different.
Sorry, I stole it.
No, it's okay. I love phase 1 of the High Republic.
Oh, yeah.
With everything with the Starlight Beacon opening up and then the Great Disaster, and although that's like that bleeds into like That's all phase 1. Yeah.
It opened
Um,
up, then it closed down.
It opened up and then it closed down.
Well, it didn't
But-
close down, but it did go down.
I mean, like that is I do have the Stella Geos like lightsaber like back there and everything, which
Stell
I
Geos?
yeah, Stell Geos.
They're on nickname
Stell-
basis.
yeah, Stell, me and Stell.
Good old Stell.
Good old Stell.
Stella.
Stell. that's Elzar while he's
Yeah.
watching it fall.
Stella.
No, you joke, but Stella and Avar and Elzar definitely had movie nights in which that shit would happen, okay?
Yeah,
So like
without a doubt.
love
That's
it.
a good choice, though. Good sleeper choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like don't sleep on the High Republic, like the books and the comics. They're so good. And like I do think that is one of like the best like Star Wars stories to come out of Star Wars in recent years. And so I think also, again, for sake of seeing something different, is one of my all-time favorite Star Wars stories. Phase
Okay.
1. High
To get
Republic.
even more spicy, I might throw out the book Bloodline. Bloodline is my favorite Star Wars book.
Oh.
Claudia Gray, fantastic book. Anybody who wants any insight into the sequels or any insight into the New Republic or anything like that should pick up that book immediately. You will be entranced. If you like Star Wars politics, I don't think there's any better Star Wars politics than that book. So there you
It's
go.
good.
Maybe
It's
Andor.
good sell. Good sell.
Maybe.
Who wrote on the
Maybe.
napkin?
Oh,
We'll never know.
who did it? We'll never know.
We'll never know for sure.
What Star Wars movie is the best holiday movie? Now that
Ah,
we're
The
getting
Phantom
into
Menace.
holiday season.
Oh, the holiday special.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Force Awakens.
I'd probably say it too. I would say one of the sequel films because they came out around the holidays, around Christmas. So,
Mm.
but
Force
I feel
Awakens-
like Force Awakens.
Brings me right back to December of 2015. Like as soon as I sit down and watch that movie at any point in time, I'm 20 years old again. Watching that movie in theaters.
Yeah,
like
you
3
stunk
days
when you were
before
20 years
Christmas.
old, and you barely
You
even
did.
liked the movie.
Don't deny it.
I loved The Force Awakens. I just liked Rogue One more. That was it.
Mm,
I
But
loved
you
The
did
Force
stink.
Awakens.
We're
yeah,
just
but,
saying you stunk. That's
but
what
you
we're
weren't-
saying.
but you weren't looking forward to Last Jedi.
No,
We've
I
had-
was.
we've had the
It wasn't that I
discussions.
wasn't looking forward to it. It was just that it wasn't on my like hype radar.
You always said that you stunk pre like 20.
Well, I certainly wanted
19.
Kylo Ren to die, and I think that's really funny.
he
Looking
did.
back at it, the Last Jedi
And he
sent
did.
me on a very different path in my Star Wars fandom. I'm very lucky I watched.
That's what
that
I. That's what I guess I would say.
I agree that the sequels are definitely like they feel more like the holidays because I got a lot of memories tied to going to see them in December. But I feel like for me, like a holiday movie is like if something that's not specifically about a holiday, it's something that you want to put on that you've seen a million times before. You might just sit on the couch, you might fall asleep watching it, and then you wake up and you feel like you're in like another like dimension, and it's just like, oh my God, what's happening? That's happened to us many times watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So that's my like
That's
baseline
great.
of like a holiday movie that's not actually a holiday movie.
Oh, it's a
So-
holiday movie.
So Phantom Menace, that's the kind of movie you can put on, you've seen a million times, and you're like, it's just cozy, and then like nothing bad really happens until like the end. So
Yeah.
yeah, you know, it's good.
I'll go The Last Jedi. Good, just because Matt went Force Awakens. I'd probably go Force Awakens, but I'll go Last Jedi. I think the last couple holiday seasons, when we've been doing like making gingerbread cookies or wrapping presents or doing something like that, I've had The Last Jedi on. And I'm like peeking in the other room, like, oh yeah, here we go. So I'll say Last Jedi.
That also has the same kind of vibes if you fall asleep and feel like you wake up in another dimension because like
You wake up
there's
during
a-
the Holdo maneuver.
exactly, and it's like whoa, you get like blown off the couch.
All right. What was your favorite year of the podcast?
2022. That
I
was
would
the year
probably.
of Star Wars Celebration Anaheim. And I feel like that was like when we were like hitting a good groove, and it was like, hey, we hit a really good groove. We met a lot of people, and then from there, it's just been gone up from there. So I would say
It was a trampoline year.
22. It really was.
I'm gonna say the next one.
Yeah, 2023.
Okay, so I have
No,
to
I was
say,
gonna say the next one, as in 2025.
so I
Oh.
prepped these slides,
Hell yeah.
and
I like that.
I was looking at this question, and I knew AJ was gonna say the next one
next
as his
one.
answer for favorite of the podcast.
I'll say the next one, I guess, just to be. I like thinking like that. Like, oh, the next one can be the best. I don't like thinking the best is in the past, which a lot of times
What's
it
your
is. but whatever.
favorite though?
Favorite.
We're not asking
true.
about the best. We're asking about the
Um,
favorite.
The next one. No,
Wow.
2022. When did we start? 2020. Yeah.
2020, officially.
What did we do in 2021? Some panels. Some
We did our first panels in 2021.
what things came out that year? Andor? No.
That was
No.
Mando. No.
Bad Batch
wasn't
season
Mando.
1.
Bad Batch season
That was fun.
1.
I remember that came out in the summer, and that was like
Yeah.
the
Book of
best
Boba
summer
Fett?
show. Yep. End of the year it did. Yep.
Well, I thought that into the next year.
Was there a live action show that came up before Book of Boba Fett in 21, or was
No, it was
That
it
was
was
it.
Mando. It was Mando 2 in the fall, and then
well,
Fall
Mando-
of 2020.
Yeah.
I think
Into
Visions came out at
2021?
some point.
Yeah, might have been Visions in there.
I don't know, man.
We're all over the map.
Well, let's scroll back on the
Okay,
feed.
Jamie said 22. That's a good. That's probably the winner's choice. That's the.
I'm
obvious
saying
choice.
23.
What did we do in 23?
We had Emily Swallow on. We did the Phantom
Yep.
Menace. We did the Phantom
That was
Menace
the
video
Super
game
Bowl.
reviews. We did. That's when I started writing my Ray video. We didn't release it until January of this
That's
year,
when I started.
but I was really digging into it, and very excited about being able to finally release like a video essay that I researched and studied for.
When did we hit 1,000 subs?
23. No, 24. Definitely.
That was sometime
year.
this year.
So,
That was sometime this year.
24. I think 24 has been great. We had Bobby Moynihan on, who's been
True.
like, that was such a cool get, and it was a fantastic time. We had a lot of cool guests on, like each
Alex
week.
and
It felt like
Molly were this year, right?
Yep, and
we
we
didn't
got to
have
go on
them
their
last year.
show.
That was cool.
Also-
That was an all-time career high for me.
This was like a milestone year, maybe. But,
Yeah, honestly,
but I feel like
I
there
agree.
were a lot of lulls this year too, though.
there were definitely lulls. I mean, we're kind of
Because
in
of-
one right now.
Well,
Because of the fandom with the Acolyte, that was a negative, and
which is
This
funny
summer
because
was
like there's been a good amount of stuff this year. Like we had Bad Batch 3 and we had all of Acolyte, and we're gonna have Skeleton Crew later this year, and we had the video game in the middle. But like it's just been rough out there.
yeah,
We did do a couple author reviews this year as well. I chatted with Chris Kemshaw as well to talk
Yeah.
about his new
Well,
book,
well, that was sick. That was a good one.
Galactic Empire, which was really cool.
We had
a lot
Adam
of random
Christopher
videos
and
this year.
Kristen Baber last year. That was exciting, right?
Yep.
That was last
Yeah,
year.
Yep.
That was
I
cool.
think we talked to Adam twice, maybe.
We've had a lot of
It's
we
hard
had
to
a lot
keep
of
track.
hits
I
like
mean-
each time. So like it's
It's
tough.
a good question though.
Yeah.
It is a good
I'm still gonna
question.
go with 22 though. So
Next question is: would you guys ever do a full video covering the Old Republic era or Revan?
If we did,
It depends.
It would be you guys
It depends.
taking the lead on that. I'd help, but
I
wouldn't.
feel
I mean, I wouldn't be. I love the Old Republic. I love Revan. I love KOTOR. KOTOR is one of my. Matt and I did our video games thing on the. If you're a member of the Maraud
Yeah.
Squad, it's on there. It's on Patreon as well. That was really fun.
if
But
we
KOTOR is one
ever
of my favorite
were,
things ever.
I feel like it would be maybe AJ and I do gameplay, and maybe we'll edit it down to be
That's-
funny.
It's-
That's the extent of what I would want to do.
But this is a full
Unfortunately,
video covering.
I
the
think
Old
this is
Republic
like
era.
just-
Old Republic.
I'm just
era
gonna straight
lore
up
and
say
stuff.
I don't know enough about it to like do a lore video. Like
I just know
don't.
KOTOR, and I
was
know
about
a
to
good
say.
deal about
Yeah.
Revan, but
Like
I know
I would
KOTOR.
love to, but like
I never read the Revan book. I don't
So-
play the Old
I don't know
Republic
enough about
MMO.
I'll give a good answer. If a project comes out like near the Old Republic era sometime, I could see us doing a
Yeah.
video covering that time.
because
at
we'll
least, like, maybe-
dive into it more.
Maybe the canon like stuff of it, which I know is kind of
Tough.
wet cement right now, very fluid.
Very fluid.
But we'll see. I mean, I definitely love the time period. We could definitely do something.
I
but,
wouldn't rule it out completely.
like with Skeleton Crew's coming out, and I have a plan to hopefully do. I think whenever I announce my plans, they don't happen, but I might do a little pirate deep dive.
Arr.
Hard.
We'll see.
That's what pirates say.
So long story short, maybe. Probably, honestly. I'd say probably eventually. What was your main goal when starting HM Holland Marauders 4 years ago? I think I remember having like initial discussions with the three of us about like negativity in the fandom
Yeah.
and how we wanted more like there should be a stronger force of positive. And of course, there's been tons and there are still tons of positive voices in the fandom. and we kind of wanted to add to that with our own twist.
Mhm.
So I think that was maybe the main goal. I would say that was the main goal.
That definitely
Yeah.
was one of them. That one and just like fostering a positive community and just that was like always like a really big goal from the beginning, and just being a voice for good.
Mine was to educate people on canon lore.
Yeah.
Because there really aren't that many YouTube channels that cover canon lore. I mean, Star Wars Explained is the big one, but a lot of other ones don't cover like the nitty gritty of canon. They'll always cover the nitty gritty of Legends, but very rarely do you find a channel that covers. Like if you Google Star Wars lore, if you look up Star Wars lore on YouTube, you'll find a ton of Legends videos about every Legends book on the planet. But you'd be very hard pressed to find one on every canon book or every canon comic, or just in general, like canon eras. And that was my goal. I want to be one of the people to just like teach you about canon stuff, because that's the lore that I love for Star Wars, you know?
I remember like when we started, that was like a big conversation of what exactly do we want to be doing here, and that was a big thing of like AJ was like, oh, we should make like more like fun videos and like do like maybe like a podcast type thing, and Matt was like, I want to do lore videos. I don't even want anyone to know who I am, and we're like, what?
I literally did not even want to show my face.
Like that was
I
like a
wanted
very
the Jar Jar mask.
That was like
the
an
whole
early
time.
thing, and like I remember in the beginning as well, I wanted to try to do do like more like funny videos as well, because like I always wanted to do like the YouTube thing like growing up, and it's just so funny to look back on it that we've actually been successfully doing the YouTube thing now for like almost 4 years. It's very weird. It's very weird.
Crazy.
It's to the point where like I when I went to college, that's kind of what I wanted to do video production. I had such like a bad like this isn't exactly what I wanted to do, and almost like quit, but still graduated, and then like took like years off of wanting to do anything video production related, and then it all just kind of like fell back into place, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it worked out somehow. It's still rolling along and trying to work itself out.
Here we are, rolling along.
Rolling along.
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty good. We've turned into sort of like the thing, Matt, kind of a bit of everything, but like I feel like we've really turned into people like our weekly coverage of whatever show is going on.
Yeah.
I think we all enjoy doing that. It's really it's easy to keep that schedule of, oh, hey, after each week, a day or two after the episode, we cover it. People join in, share their thoughts, we share our thoughts, and that's really fun. But
and it's just I don't think there's enough people, because I'm going to sound hypocritical, but so many people cover lore. Very rarely do you find people who cover themes in Star Wars, you know, just like generalized themes and ideas that Star Wars tries to convey.
Sky Talkers do.
They do a good job of that.
Sky Talkers definitely do.
They're probably
that
one of
was
the best.
Yeah.
Another part of like it wasn't always a main goal, but it was a goal that became pretty evident really quickly, was let's just try to like go crazy and like reach for people to talk with in the fandom as well. That also became like a goal really quickly of just like, let's just send people a message, not like excessively, but just like, let's just like ask people. Yeah, I remember like Michael told that to you when we first reached out to Rex and Around. I was like, oh, like I like nearly shut down myself because I was like, oh my god, this is actually going to happen. But like he ended up coining it that we were kind of like a hub of like other podcasts and like community and whatnot. And I'm just like, man, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So
it really is. I mean, that really was one of the highest compliments you've ever received.
Who would have thought? Not us. But it happened.
Look at us, huh? Look at us.
Look at us.
Ooh, this is
live chat interaction.
What is your favorite live chat interaction?
When Star Wars randomly showed up on the Kyle Katarn stream, and I happened to be like word vomiting about the Bad Batch, and they were like, "It's okay, we can cry together," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
that is it's probably my favorite.
That was a great one.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
I love. I think my favorite was probably when I first saw Jordan enter the chat after we talked to him. Seriously, I still think of that when
meeting someone in real life saying, "Hey, I liked your show, and then we're just like trading information, and then they actually show up
And
in
then
the
he
chat
actually
afterwards.
showed up and became a fan of us. That was
You're
nuts.
the-
And now he's like a
honestly,
regular.
the real
Sometimes I
one.
see him in the chat. Dude, Jordan's the realist. I was pumped. I was pumped about that.
Yeah. I'd say like Chad always
I
helping
was-
us out with things.
I love
I was
Chad.
just gonna say, I love when Chad facts check for us.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
we're just like, hey Chad,
Can you
check
check
that
this
for
out?
us?
You check that out.
Chad in
Um,
the
Hey Chad,
chat.
what's this name? It'll always
It's
have
so
it like
good.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Honestly, another favorite reaction, which I just always laugh at, was AJ mispronouncing Crimson Dawn, and the
Crimson
chat picked
Dawn
up on it
is an
immediately.
all-timer.
Matt picked up on it
All-timer.
immediately.
Yeah, and then the chat's like, "Oh, is it what?"
You can't do that in front of me, dude. I'll pick up on it. I'm sorry.
I didn't even like. Yeah, I don't know. That was a classic.
Yeah,
I should post that again soon.
we'll have to
Yeah.
find the original.
You know what?
I don't
That's
even
the
remember
best
what
HM
stream that was
moment.
from.
It's the best and the worst.
It's the best and the worst for sure.
All right. Final question.
Ooh.
Where do you see Hall Net Marauders in another 4 years? In 4 years?
Hopefully, attending another Star Wars celebration.
Yeah. with
I
sometime
would
in
like
there.
that to happen. Maybe 2 by
100%.
then. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. No, yeah, don't
Um,
get crazy.
No, but
I'm
within those
joking.
4 years, I would like to say hopefully attending Star Wars Celebration and getting the chance to do a panel at Celebration. That
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
I think
almost
that
were
is
able
like
to
my
do one.
reach goal currently. So
That's a great goal.
like I know we're not doing Japan just because like logistically we can never make it happen.
Yeah.
But for the one after that, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll have at least watched one Star Wars movie in theaters. Hopefully,
That's
in
a
4
goal.
years, we will be feeling better about something that happens earlier in November every 4 years in America. Maybe we'll feel a little better about where we are
Yeah.
than we do now.
I imagine.
Hopefully,
but
we're all still here.
never know.
But we will be. And I'm gonna say a big one. Are you ready for this? I'm gonna say we'll have had Ryan Johnson on the show.
Oh,
Okay.
that's huge.
That's my goal. That's my
okay.
thing.
I don't even know if that's that crazy. I mean, it is, but like with the amount we've done in 4 years already,
I know.
I didn't think
That's
we'd
why I'm
get
saying it's
that,
possible.
so.
All
4
right.
years is a good amount of time. So yeah, I mean, I
You
don't know.
what?
I mean,
I'm just-
I'd like to believe we'd be like one of the. I hate being like overconfident or something, but I guess why not, right?
Can I say something silly first before you get into it?
I guess.
Well, I'm just thinking of the Last Jedi behind the scenes documentary when Ryan Johnson is like talking to whoever for the documentary, and someone pokes their head in the door, and they're just like, "Oh, George is on the phone," and he's like, "George Lucas," and they're like, "Yeah," and he's like,
Oh yeah.
"That's how I imagine if Matt's goal was to
That's-
ever happen."
100%.
Interchangeably, either Ryan would have the same reaction to us, or we would have the same reaction to him. So
I think that would be the second
there you
option.
go. There you go. But
Who
anyway,
knows?
I almost went
serious.
with George Lucas on the show, but that's
No.
impossible. That's an
Yeah,
impossible.
that's-
Anyway.
I don't know what I was saying.
I didn't think it was gonna derail you that bad.
I don't. It's more so. I don't know. It's more on me that I didn't remember.
Just giving you time.
Giving me time.
Yeah, to
What was I
think about.
saying? Does anyone remember what I was saying?
I think you were
Well-
building up to saying something along the lines of us being like a big presence on YouTube or something like that.
Well,
Probably.
I don't know. Like I
Bigger
feel
presence.
I feel like we could be like a top 5
Wow.
place to watch
Here we
Star Wars
go,
show
guys.
recaps or something.
That's old.
That'd be great.
But maybe
Is
that'd
that
be
bold?
fun.
I don't know. Like,
That'd
maybe
be fun.
It probably is, but
I'm down.
not?
I'm down to keep trying. Keep
Um,
chugging along.
I don't know what top 5 means. Should I say top 10? I don't know. Like
Top 10
eight-
would be more realistic.
a top place
Yeah.
to watch coverage of a Star Wars show. I don't know.
I would-
I don't know.
Sure.
I would like to still be consistently posting the podcast in 4 years. How about that? Is that an
Mhm.
achievable goal?
Hey, look,
Yeah. We've done it in 4
We're-
years already.
we're entering our 30s. We're already in our 30s or early 30s. That's when life starts to slow down and you start getting consistent with things. I
Exactly.
think if anything, the older folks like us will be safer than the people who are in like high school and college and going through like their early 20s and all these life changes that are going to totally derail them.
That's what I
We've got it.
said.
That's
I'm
us.
so proud of my friends who graduated college that I met through podcasting who don't
Mm.
podcast anymore. But I'm
Well,
so
that's it.
proud
That's
of them.
exactly
So
yeah.
I miss them though.
I do.
I
I
do
get to
too.
Talk to them.
I do too.
But
And
yeah.
that was all 25 questions.
Wow.
Wow.
25 questions for 25 years of HoloNet Marauders. Can you believe it?
This episode took 25 years.
Yeah, it wasn't 4 years. It was actually a quarter of a century.
Yeah.
We've been around 25 years. Here's to another.
Another 25?
Yeah.
Any more questions for Matt's dad?
No.
I think we're good.
Let's end
Which one
it.
of these can he
Let's
answer?
end it.
I don't know.
Yeah, Dad, will you ever make a video about the Old Republic?
No.
He's probably like, what the hell is that?
Oh my gosh. Let's wrap up, guys. So thank you to everyone in the chat who hung out with us tonight and just shared their favorite moments along with us. And thank you to everyone who has been listening to this audio. If you've been listening to the audio version as well, just thank you so much for being a listener of HoloNet Marauders. We are so grateful for all of you guys for actually taking the time to listen to what we say about Star Wars, and we can't get enough of it. We're still going to keep doing it. AJ was just showing off our Marauder merch as well, so if you want any HoloNet Marauders goodies, designed by our friend Meg, by the way, our wonderful logo, it is available on our YouTube channel. There's a tab for it specifically. Links are linked in everywhere we have the thing as well. On social media, everywhere we are, the HoloNet Marauders. I just dropped my earbud. We've been playing a lot of Star Wars Unlimited. We are going to be doing coverage of Skeleton Crew when it comes out this, December?
December
Soon?
something.
It's going to be soon. So we'll catch you guys with the live streams then, and we'll have more stuff along the way. And thank you guys so much for 4 wonderful years, and we will keep doing more as much as possible. This has been the HoloNet Marauders podcast. We'll see you guys next time.